cleanup hitter for the Phillies tonight, Wheels. It's not the accustomed Lenny Dykstra.
It's going to be Gary Varsho tonight. There he is. Gary Varsho will play tonight, as Lenny Dykstra is going to be out a little while with that sore back, and they certainly hope it's not serious. It doesn't appear to be, but it's just something they're going to have to get him better, and then they'll get him back in the lineup. It doesn't look like it's a long-termer, thank goodness.
But it looks like he will sit out tomorrow night's game, and they'll re-examine him on Thursday to see what his condition is then, and maybe he'll play the final game of this series against the Giants. Phils have taken the field, and this is the lineup they will face. Darren Lewis leads off. He's in center field. Robbie Thompson at second base bats second. Barry Bonds in left field hits third. Matt Williams has been on fire. He's the cleanup hitter. Glenn Allen Hill in right field hitting fifth. Royce Clayton, the shortstop, bats sixth. J.R. Phillips at first base will hit seventh. Kurt Manwaring, the catcher, bats eighth. And on the mound, Mark Portugal.
Defensively tonight for the Phillies, a little different with Lenny out of there. Greg Jeffries in left field, and Jim Eisenreich moves into place center. Gary Varsho will be the right fielder. Charlie Hayes at third. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop. Mickey Morandini at second base, and Dave Hollins at first. Aaron Dalton behind the plate, and on the mound, the Phillies' number one, Curt Schilling.
Curt Schilling on the year, a perfect 3-0. He's making his first start here at the vet. All 5 starts thus far have come on the road. A strong 2.41 ERA. Kurt's had a lot of strikeouts early on, 33 2/3, almost a strikeout an inning, and his strikeout to walk ratio is an outstanding 6.6 to 1. 29 hits, 5 walks allowed in his 5 starts thus far, and he has gone up against some tough competitors. He started the season against Ken Hill, then he faced in order Jose Rio, Greg Maddux, Doug Drabek, a returning Chris Hammond from the disabled list who pitched an outstanding game in his last start, and tonight, Mark Portugal. Jim Eisenreich will get a start in center field tonight. He was taking a lot of fly balls off the bats in BP today to get the feel for center, which is, as mentioned before on broadcast, a lot different position to get used to. Eisenreich normally in right field, and tonight that will be occupied by Gary Varsho.
Right, and Gary Varsho is a right fielder, so that's why they want to make him comfortable, put him in right field and let him play there. Eisenreich has played center field before.
Curt Schilling already with more wins this season than last season. A very difficult 94 season for Schill. He was 2-8 in an injury-plagued year. Had just 1 win here at the vet. Tonight, chance for the Philly fans here at home to see Schilling for the first time, and he'll start things off against Darren Lewis, who carries a .218 batting average to the plate. First pitch of the ball game is swung on and lofted into shallow right field. Morandini, Varsho. It's Morandini who makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So we're underway with a scare.
Oh, that was a tough play. Morandini's the one who's going to get to that ball, and Varsho came on hard, and then it looked like he tried to go into a slide to get out of the way at the last minute, and he flipped a little bit. There's Varsho trying to get out of the way, and the turf caught his leg, flipped him right up. Morandini calling it all the way. I don't know that Varsho could have gotten there, and they almost had a nasty collision.
Here's Robbie Thompson with 1 out and nobody on, and he takes a called strike from Schilling, 0-1. Schilling is coming off his career high strikeout mark, striking out 12 in that game against the Marlins. Next pitch to Thompson's down low. It's 1-1. Umpires behind home plate is Jerry Lane calling the balls and strikes tonight. He is joined at first base by Wally Bell. Ed Rapuano is at second, and Paul Runge is at third. Another gorgeous night here at Veterans Stadium. 77 degrees, low humidity, perfect evening for baseball. This is hit well to center field. Eisenreich's going to get a challenge on his first ball out there. 1 hops against the fence. Thompson into second, thinks about 3, but he'll hold up with a 1-out double. Thompson hit that ball hard towards right center field.
Eisenreich has no shot on this. Fastball from Curt Schilling in the middle of the plate, and as Todd said, Robbie Thompson nails it.
So Thompson on with a double. For Robbie, that's double number 6 on the year. And here's Barry Bonds.
It snapped an 0 for 15 for Robbie Thompson also. And Bonds has been struggling a little bit.
Jams him. He pops it into shallow left. Stocker and Jeffries. This time the outfielder takes control as Jeffries squeezes. There's 2 away.
You'd rather catch Bonds coming into a series where he is struggling, because that doesn't mean he can't come out of it at any moment. But he comes in here 5 for 28, just 179, and then makes an out there. Bonds normally is not going to swing at the first pitch a whole lot against right-handers. He'll usually work the count a little more than that.
Well, if the season ended right now, this guy would just be a few batting average points shy of a triple crown. Second in the league in average, leading the league in home runs, leading the league in RBIs. Matt Williams.
You have a chance to work around him a little bit here now if Schilling is so inclined, because he does have a base open and 2 outs. But it's early. You know, you don't want to get any potential big inning.
Swing and a miss, nothing in 1. Williams has been red hot, as you can see. In 95, those numbers. Last year, 43 home runs. If you combine last year's total with this year's total, it would be over 140 games, and Williams has 53 home runs. So you would have 22 games to play with 8 home runs needed to tie Roger Maris's all-time mark of 61 in one season.
Well, they've thrown him 2 low fastballs. One he took, and the other one, of course, he swung at. There are a couple ways to pitch Matt Williams, but when he is hot as he is right now, you better get him in those spots, because this guy, when he is on one of these streaks, is so difficult.
He's 9 for his last 16. Had a big series in St. Louis, capping it off with a 4 for 5 on Sunday.
Maybe the plane ride cooled him off.
Well, the Giants do have a formidable 5-hitter, which wasn't always the case last year.
Yeah, Glenn Allen Hill is a pretty good 5-hole hitter. But I think Bonds is in the right spot in the lineup. You know, Bonds always wanted to hit fifth for some reason as we look at Glenn Allen Hill. I mean, Barry Bonds is a 3-hole hitter, and with Matt Williams behind him, imagine the numbers that Bonds could still put up.
Especially when Will Clark left, the 3 spot was perfect for Barry.
Right.
He never moved there. And Williams and Bonds were the only ones that drove in runs last year. Swing and a miss. Schilling gets Williams on high heat, and that'll do it for the Giants in the first. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. The Phillies turn in the bottom half.
Extra added bonus game. The Cubs, Thursday, June 1st at 1:05. Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. Highlights from the past, thrills from the present in this special silver season. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Some people hate to stop for gasoline. We do it for a living. Just going from one Sunoco station to another to another. Checking to make sure a gallon is truly a gallon. That the octane you pay for is the octane you get. That the gasoline is as good coming out of the pump as it was coming out of the refinery. So next time you're moaning because you have to pull over for gasoline, think of us. We have to stop 1,183 times this year.
Give me 10 more good reps, man. No, that's not it. I'll tell you what it is. Now give me 1 more. 1 more. Oh, man. 1 more. Keep this on. 1 more time.
With 33% more carbos than Gatorade, it's Powerade.
Give me 10 more.
They did a good job of setting up Matt Williams away, and then a fastball up and into him, and it tied him up. Matt Williams, like all great power hitters, wants to extend those arms. He doesn't like that ball in there necessarily, and he chased it.
Starting lineups for the Phillies. Gary Varsho will lead things off. He's the right fielder. Mickey Morandini, the second baseman, bats second. Greg Jeffries in left field hitting third. Dave Hollins, the cleanup hitter. Darren Dalton behind the plate batting fifth. Jim Eisenreich in center. Charlie Hayes in third. Kevin Stocker shortstop, and Curt Schilling is on the mound.
Defensively, Barry Bonds, Darren Lewis, Glenn Allen Hill, Matt Williams, Royce Clayton, Robbie Thompson, and J.R. Phillips at first base. Gold Glover Kurt Manwaring behind the plate, and the tough right-hander Mark Portugal on the mound.
A few Gold Gloves in that defense for the Giants. They have led the National League the last 2 years in defensive fielding percentage, as Varsho starts out by taking a pitch low for a ball, 1-0.
How about 5 Gold Gloves this lineup tonight?
3 in 94 and 4 in 93. As this one is grounded to the second baseman Thompson, over to Phillips, and quickly Varsho retired, 1 away. Mark Portugal, 32 years of age, has had outstanding numbers against the Phillies over his career. This year he's 2-1, making his 6th start of the year, an ERA just below 4. 32 1/3 innings. He's allowed 24 hits, has been wild, walking 12, striking out 24. Coming off his best outing of the year, he went 7 2/3 against the Cubs, allowing just 3 hits and a walk and 1 run while he was in there. That came in the first inning. Then he retired 20 straight Cubs in that game at Candlestick Park.
Mickey Morandini has a couple of lifetime bombs off this guy.
2 of his 12 home runs have come against Portugal. This one is chopped on the ground. 2 easy hops for Clayton, who throws a little low, but not low enough for Phillips. There's 2 away. So 2 groundouts to start the game. That'll bring up Greg Jeffries. Portugal joining the Giants last year. He was acquired in the offseason as a free agent. Did have a couple of injuries, but still was 10-8 on the season, his year finishing in the Astrodome where he used to pitch with Houston.
And Jeffries is one of the few guys that has good numbers against this guy too. 355 with a couple of homers and 2 runs batted in. Obviously both the RBIs on homers. Portugal's best pitch is a changeup, and it's a good one. Great arm speed. There it was.
Portugal over his career has been more effective against left-handers than right-handers.
Right, and that's because of the changeup, because it goes down and away to the left-handed hitter, just as you saw that one dip to Jeffries.
Jeffries has hit well against the Giants in general and against Portugal specifically. Although this may be a different Greg Jeffries than the Giants are used to seeing. Jeffries has really been slumping as of late.
Well, he's got to get it going left-handed, just 167 from the left side.
There's a bullet in the right field for a base hit.
And that'll help him maybe find a guy that he's comfortable against, and that's Mark Portugal.
That's about as solid a left-handed swing as he's had over this 4-game homestand. 4 of the first 13, that is.
He takes a real good swing at this. He doesn't get too quick with that top hand, which has been one of his problems from the left side and something that he's fighting up there.
You can see he keeps moving up the ladder against Portugal, now nearing the 400 plateau. Here's Dave Hollins. Hollins batting .250 on the season. He also has been struggling left-handed, just 180, and he fouls one off his front leg. It's 0-1. Just underway from the vet. No score, bottom half of the first inning. In case you were not with us for the pregame, Len Dykstra is not starting tonight. He will be given the day off tomorrow as well due to that sore lower back. They'll re-examine him on Thursday. He did have a CAT scan performed yesterday. We'll re-look at him on Thursday and see if he's ready to go then.
So the move by Mark Portugal has a way above average move to first base, and he's quick to home plate. So this is a tough combination to run on. Portugal and a fine thrower like Manwaring. There's that quick move over there again.
Talked about the Gold Gloves. Manwaring winning one in '93. Last year, Tom Pagnozzi winning. Robbie Thompson won one a couple of years ago. And last year, Darren Lewis, Barry Bonds, and Matt Williams all earning Gold Gloves. For Williams, his 3rd. For Bonds, his 5th. And Darren Lewis became the first Giant center fielder to win a Gold Glove since
say hey? Since Gary Maddox.
They listed him as both Giants and Phillies Gold Glove winner in '75.
Is that right? Okay. Then it had to be, there's Manwaring and you saw Darren Lewis, but then it had to be say hey before him.
It's in their notes. He was more with the Phillies in '75 than he was with the Giants.
That's right. Gary Maddox was traded to the Phillies in May of '75. Of course, for Willie Montanez, which prompted the great Larry Boa quote, "Is that all we got for Willie?"
I'm sure that hasn't been discussed over the years.
Oh, yeah, he and Gary talked about that a lot over the years. Is that all we got, he said? That is a true story. Yeah, Bo, that's all we got.
1-2 the count to Hollins. 2 away. Jeffries on first. Jeffries on the move. Manwaring doesn't handle the ball cleanly on the slider. And Jeffries will have his 3rd stolen base of the year.
Yeah, they stole on the pitch then. Jeffries picked the right pitch to run on. We mentioned how tough this combination would be to run. Jeffrey's got a good jump, and then the pitch is a down and in breaking ball that Man Waring had to reach for. And then, as Todd said, he just couldn't throw it down there. He could never get a grip on the ball, so he might as well just hold on to it.
Jeffrey's now 3 for 4 in steals this year, and Hollins has a runner in scoring position and a 2-2 count. Change up low and away, and the count is full. Hollins has struggled this year at the vet with runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 14. Change up, he holds off. Ball 4. And Dave Hollins continues to pace the league in walks. That's his 29th walk of the year.
Shows you what Portugal thinks of that pitch. That he will throw a 3-2 changeup with Darren Daulton on there. Because you think he would have gone after Hollins in that situation, but he doesn't want to throw him a fastball, even with a base open.
Well, Portugal will have to deal with Darren Daulton. He's had success against Daulton in his career. Darren just 1 for 15 against the right-hander. Dutch carrying a .273 batting average to the plate. Ground ball to Thompson. Should be easy. And it is. So the Phil strand 2 in the inning on 1 hit and 1 walk. We head to the second inning. It's 0-0.
Houston's made some big changes, but you'll still see their big stars like Bagwell, Biggio, and Drabek when the Astros play the Phillies Tuesday, June 13th, Wednesday, June 14th, and Thursday, June 15th, all at 7:35. Relive memories of the past. Then, watch the hitmen of the present try to put a hurt on Houston in this special silver season. What a season. What a show. Call 463-1000. That's 463-1000.
Things aren't always what they seem. Sometimes
you get more than you expect.
Introducing the incredible I-30. One look inside, and you'll be amazed at the spaciousness and attention to detail. In fact, the I-30 has a larger interior than a Rolls-Royce Silver Spur. When was the last time you got more than you expected from a $30,000 luxury car?
Who's worried about the air we're breathing? Who's controlling emissions and expanding the use of non-polluting fuels? And who's already decreased the pollutants in our air by more than 3 million tons a year? Who? People like you. People who live here. People who know what you care about.
We're in game 4 of 13 on this, the longest homestand of the 95 season. The Giants still in town Wednesday and Thursday nights. Dodgers are in town after the weekend. San Diego Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, of course, a day game. Then Memorial Day through Wednesday, the Dodgers are in town in that quick one-game homestand or one-game series with the Cubs to wrap up the homestand. If you want tickets, you can call us up at 215-463-1000 to order tickets easily by phone. Beach Towel Day on Sunday, Business Person Special 105 start on Thursday, June 1st. The rest are 7:35 starts with the exception of Saturday, 7:05. Glenn Allen Hill has been a real nice acquisition by the Giants. He is batting .293. He has numbers that would normally lead most National League teams, but they're just good for second with Matt Williams on this team. 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, 5 stolen bases. And he has provided some support to protect Matt Williams in that 4 spot. Swings at the first pitch, nothing in 1.
Glenn Allen Hill's a guy we used to see all the time in Clearwater because he was a Toronto Blue Jays prospect for a long time. He would play in those B games. He came up when they had so many fine outfielders.
You can see he's been hot over the last 3 games, but Schilling, like with Williams, has started him out 0-2.
I think Jesse Barfield was around when Glenn Allen Hill was a young player. Mark Whitten.
They had a lot of young outfield prospects for a number of years. Some panned out, like the names you have mentioned. Remember, Sil Campusano was highly touted during his Blue Jays tenure.
And he was here for a while.
Lou Thornton for a while was highly touted. So not every Blue Jay outfielder made an impact on the big league.
I remember a guy used to watch play B games all the time. He used to look at the size of this guy. How, you know, he's too heavy. He's never probably going to hit in the league. And then they wound up trade era. He wound up going to Japan and then came back as one of the all-time great home run hitters, Cecil Fielder.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Dalton will have to make the throw down to first, which he does. So Schilling has struck out Matt Williams and Glenn Allen Hill. Back-to-back hitters.
Good breaking ball from Curt Schilling. He's mixing them up. Oh, that's a fork ball he threw there. So that one goes straight down, and Glenn Allen Hill chased it.
Here's Royce Clayton, the shortstop. He struggled this year, batting just .213. Does have a couple of home runs and 14 RBIs. He takes a fastball down the middle.
Royce Clayton is a guy improving his defense. He's really cut down on his errors in the last couple years, and he's a potential possibly to win a Gold Glove someday because he's really smooth out there. Former #1 pick.
Just 2 errors all season long, and last year he reduced his errors in half, even though it was a strikes shortened season by 40 games. Still impressive. Speaking of big players in Japan that have played with the Giants, chance that Kevin Mitchell's coming back.
Sounds like Mitch wants out of Japan.
1-1 pitch is on the corner, and Schilling has been right around the plate as usual this year.
He's pitching well tonight. He had great stuff the other night at Florida. I mean, his performance the other night was a vintage Curt Schilling type of game. He had a lot of strikeouts, but he made good pitches all night.
1-2 pitch is grounded on 2 hops to Hayes. The throw across in time, and the corner positions continue to stay strong. Hayes to Hollins. Those two haven't missed an inning all year long.
Well, this is the type of series where you don't expect either team to beat themselves with mistakes. As you mentioned, Todd, the Giants are #1. Phillies are tied for #2 in defense. They have a lot of good defensive players on these teams.
There's J.R. Phillips. He has struggled in his first tenure as the everyday first baseman for the Giants. He has had some great AAA years, but has just not been able to put it together at the major league level yet.
Yeah, he's striking out at a prodigious rate, especially early in the year. He's cutting down on them a little bit, but they obviously feel he's their guy.
In the hole, Stocker might bounce this one. He does, in time to get Phillips. Stocker with a fine throw from deep in the hole, and a 1-2-3 inning with some help from the defense. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless.
With more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a Ford Ranger or Chevy S10, you could say Dodge Dakota is the perfect size for a truck. And when you can get things like air, cast aluminum wheels, and more for as low as $11,286, you could also say this Dakota 4-cylinder is the perfect size truck for your budget. Dodge Dakota. At America's Truck Stop, your friendly Dodge dealer.
Lean on me. We recently switched health plans to Keystone from the Blues. Covers regular checkups, has an easy-to-use prescription plan, and it's affordable.
And Keystone let us keep our family doctor, Louis Hirschberg. During a routine checkup, he discovered a growth. The surgeon he referred me to found cancer, and I got the best available treatment.
Today, I'm 100% cured. Thanks, Keystone. Thanks, Dr. Lou, for a second chance.
Ask your employer for Keystone. We're the caring HMO you can lean on.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice. Maybe you should keep the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Just finished talking about the D that you're going to see in this series. Probably tough play for Stocker because he can't circle that ball at all. He has to throw off his back foot, knows he has to use the turf, and it looked like that ball and the runner got there at the same time. Wally Bell on the call.
J.R. Phillips was called out to end the second inning. We expect some fine defense in this series, and already we've had some strong plays defensively by the Phillies. Mickey Morandini on a pop-up, and Kevin Stocker there deep in the hole. Here's Jim Eisenreich. He's playing center field tonight, leading things off for the Phils. He takes a changeup, and you'll see them at all times and any times in the count, 0-1.
Especially to these left-handed hitters.
Eisenreich lines one the other way in front of Barry Bonds for a clean base hit. Phil's second hit of the night. Eisenreich, a leadoff base runner here in the second.
First time we've seen Bonds make a play in left field, and you forget how shallow he plays and towards the line. He is very, very good at going to his right and cutting balls off that look like they're going to go to the corner. He also will cut a lot of balls off in front of him because he plays so shallow, and he's quick enough that he can go back and catch the ball over his head, too. He's just such a good outfielder.
There's Charlie Hayes batting .280 on the year. Second on the team with those 15 RBIs and tied for the team lead with 3 home runs. Phils haven't hit a whole lot of home runs this year. In fact, they're last in the National League in that department. Giants are second in home runs, second in RBIs, second in runs. And probably can guess who's first.
Those Bombers from Colorado. Of course, if you check out Colorado's stats at home on the road, you realize how much of a home field advantage they do have. You know, baseball is not a sport necessarily where you have a home field advantage. Those guys have one. Listen to the Giants broadcasters, Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow and Ted Robinson, talking about the Giants or the Rockies before the game. He said, where do you see that place? They can't keep the ball in that yard.
Worse than Mile High even, huh?
Worse, because it's more symmetrical. At Mile High, at least, it was hard to hit them out to right and right center. And the dead center. And left field was the easy spot there. This place, they fly out everywhere.
Phil's only go in there once this year. It is for a 4-game series.
Yeah, it was originally 3. They got one added.
In fact, the Phils got a lot of games with the Rockies knocked off. They had a series here at the Vet.
Well, they say the best thing to do when you go into this new Coors Field for the first time is do not allow your pitchers to watch batting practice.
You can see Charlie Hayes. He's played with the Rockies. He's played with the Giants. And, of course, now with the Phillies. For his second time around. 2-0 the count to Hayes, and Portugal continues to worry about Eisenreich, who is 1 for 1 in the stolen base department. Mark Portugal, always strong against the Phillies. Last year, faced them twice. Big changeup, and that caught the outside corner. 2-0 changeup, and it's now 2-1. Portugal was 2-0 against the Phils last year with a 2.40 ERA, and his 1.77 career mark against the Phillies is the best against any opponent.
Charlie Hayes can't believe that pitch was a strike.
Eisenreich's not far off the bag. Portugal continues to throw over there. We're in the bottom half of the second, 0-0 ball game. Nobody out. Eisenreich a leadoff single. Hit the other way and foul. It's 2-2.
Portugal was concerned, Todd, that they might play hit and run then. That's why he was so conscious of Eisenreich, thinking the Phillies might have a hit and run combination there with the count in their favor.
Portugal in his career has been tougher against left-handed hitters, as mentioned, because of the changeup, although this year he has started the year tougher against right-handers who have hit just 200 against him. Up high and the count runs full.
They might start him here. Eisenreich a good runner. Charlie Hayes does swing through pitches, but they might take a shot that he'll get a changeup. And a changeup is going to be a very difficult pitch for Manwaring to throw on, even if Charlie Hayes were to strike out here. So they think their odds are okay to stay out of a strikeout double play. We'll see.
Manwaring consistently among the top catchers in throwing out runners. It's outside and low. Eisenreich was on the move, but Hayes draws the walk, so the Phils have runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the second, and Kevin Stocker strides to the plate.
I'd like to send special birthday wishes tonight to Lisa Mamanis from the Phillies front office down in the marketing department. Don't know what her age is, but she's young. Still very young. Her mom was an original usherette here at Veterans Stadium here in the silver season of the Vet. Flossie was here just a few years ago. And also we want to send best wishes along to Leon Deacon of Newark, Delaware, and get well wishes to Erica Reese, R-I-E-S, in Children's Hospital.
Kevin Stocker, the batter. He had a nice weekend series against the Mets, including a 4 RBI game on Saturday as he rips one foul past Mel Roberts in the first base coach's box. 0-1.
You see how Stocker is growing in the 8-hole and understanding. You know, the other night we talked about how he first and third he took those pitches from Saberhagen. He's the big guy in this inning with a pitcher on deck. So instead of just taking ball one or strike one there, he tries to put a ball in play, pull it, and make something happen. And the 8-hole is a constant thinking position as an offensive player.
Down low, it's 1-1.
You're constantly involved in situations when you bat in that 8-hole, it seems like. Good numbers against the Giants. He has a career homer of Rod Beck.
One pitch is fouled out of play. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stocker over his career batting better against the Giants than any other team in the National League.
And he has 2 hits and 8 at-bats off Portugal. As we look at the crowd here, not bad. The Phillies drew very, very well against the Mets over the weekend. We're so happy with those crowds.
113,000 for the weekend series. Giants are a team that really haven't been drawing at all in San Francisco. Ball and 2 strikes to the Phil's shortstop. Nobody out. He holds off that changeup. It's 2-2. Portugal really had a huge year in '93. He went 18-4 with the Astros in his final year in Houston, an ERA of 2.77. And he had the longest winning streak in the major leagues, winning his last 12 decisions. 2-2 pitch is chopped foul. He continued that streak into last year before finally losing. He had a 14-game winning streak between '93 and '94. Formerly of the Minnesota Twins.
That's where he learned the changeup from Johnny Padres when Johnny was in the Minnesota organization.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Stocker. In the dirt, good block by Manwaring. The count is full.
Good play by Manwaring here to block this ball in the dirt and keep those runners from advancing. 3-2, nobody out, 8-hole hitter up, pitcher on deck. Not a running situation. You would not want to see him strike out into a double play, have 2 outs, and then the pitcher coming up. So, I mean, they're just hoping they can get Stocker on here and maybe set up a big inning.
Chop towards the middle, could be tough. Thompson makes the play at second, and that's all. Robbie Thompson knew Charlie Hayes was bearing down on him and was waiting for that ball to get to him. Didn't make the force play for the first out. Phil's with runners on the corners.
Yeah, that was not a double play ball, obviously. They were just trying to get an out as Stocker chops it up the middle here. And there you see Thompson just step on the bag and then get out of the way.
So we'll see what Curt Schilling does here. First and third, 1 out.
First and third, 1 out. The other night they did not bunt with Tyler Green because Jim Fregosi said, I like the way Tyler Green swings the bat. I like that situation. Curt Schilling, he might bunt.
Schilling on the year, as you can see, 167. And he is around to bunt. Takes a pitch low. It's 1-0. Schilling is 2 for 12, including a double. Does have a couple of sacrifices.
Fregosi goes through his signs as he relays them to Larry Boa, who now gives them to Curt Schilling.
Cubs use a play. Again, last night they use it quite often, where they send the runner from third in a squeeze sacrifice mode, and it worked for them in Colorado. This time the pitch is a called strike. It's 1-1. The Cubs scored a lot of runs early, but it didn't matter last night.
No, you knew their ERA was going to take a hit.
Cubs and Rockies played a 9-8 ball game last night, and that sent Chicago's team ERA up to 3.18. 1-1 the count to Schilling. He has shown bunt his first 2 pitches, and now they throw over to first. Kevin Stocker is back.
That was as much for Portugal, hoping that Schilling would show him what he's going to do, as to try and pick a runner off, because it would maybe influence what kind of a pitch he throws.
Giants been staying pretty far back defensively. Now Schilling swings and tops one in front of the plate. Manwaring to first, trying to score is Eisenreich. He's in there. The throw goes into the dugout. Great piece of running by Jim Eisenreich, who waited just long enough, fooled Kurt Manwaring into thinking he was staying, and then as soon as the throw went to first, Eisy came home.
And see, Stocker's he's gonna be allowed to score. Boa was trying to get that call, Todd, on where the position of Stocker was when that ball went in the dugout. And Portugal's going to argue it. Here comes Dusty Baker. Runge said that he had come, I guess, around second. He's going to give him 2 bases.
If he gets to the bag before the throw goes out of play, then he is awarded 2 bases from that spot.
And there's a big conversation going on about that right now. But Boa is the one who brought that to Runge's attention, and Runge gave him home plate on the play.
The rule is it's 2 bases on an overthrow from anyone other than the pitcher who pitches off the rubber. But if the runner hadn't yet reached second base, then he would only be awarded third.
It's great base running by Eisenreich. Good coaching by Larry Boa. Phillips throws the ball into the dugout. And it appears that it's going to stand, and the Phillies are going to have a 2-0 lead. Here's Schilling. That's why we keep telling Whitey you have to bunt in this situation. Swinging bunt. Now, Eisenreich busts right away. He came way down the line. He busts. The throw is wide. Now, we can't see where the base runner is.
Was the throw altered a little bit by Schilling? It was hard to tell because it is a left-handed thrower.
Possibly.
Anyway, the Phils have a 2-0 lead on a little bit of a bizarre play, but a great heads-up running by Jim Eisenreich, and now the bases are cleared for Gary Varsho. Varsho hits it hard, but right at Robbie Thompson. So the Phils score a couple here in the bottom of the second. They do so with just 1 hit, and there was a costly error. Well, the Phils give Curt Schilling a 2-0 lead heading to the third.
Take pictures of your favorite Phils from the field. Photo night before the Phils play the Padres. Saturday, May 27th at 7:05. Keepsake photos of Dykstra, Dalton, Jeffries, Hollins, and more. Call 463-1000.
Next is Lady. Exceptional sheen. Oh, very good color. Prince. Heavens. Oh, such stateliness, such majesty.
Larry. Larry!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
The best of show? Mort?
I need new clothes. I can't wear those. And call a florist. I need my rose.
We need more choices.
We need them fast.
To calm the diva down. She won't last.
We need them fast.
9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
You know what moves me? Candlelight, roses, watching my husband do all the housework. You know what else moves me? My Ford Taurus. My Ford dealer gave me $1,500 cash back when I bought my Taurus. $1,500. It's the #1 selling car. You get everything. Anti-lock brakes, dual airbags. It's one car that sets my heart in motion.
$1,500 cash back on Taurus is for a limited time, so you better get moving to your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
Here's a 2-run play. You see Phillips here. Now watch where Stocker is when the ball's thrown. Manwaring goes to his knees to try and block the plate, it appears. He doesn't catch it. Stocker has already gone past second base, so he gets the extra base and gets the score on the play. What Eisenreich did very well was come well down the third baseline as Matt Williams was way back. Matt Williams didn't come in to field the ball. He didn't have to worry about the shortstop in behind him. It was just real good base running by Eisenreich.
So the Phils jump on top 2-0, and here is Kurt Manwaring. Takes a pitch up high for a ball 1-0. The throw was high by J.R. Phillips, but probably should have been handled by Manwaring.
Yeah, I think what happened was Manwaring was trying to block the plate and catch the ball at the same time, and he just didn't handle the throw. Because it looked like he was already on his way down when that throw came in.
1 ball and 1 strike to the Giants catcher, batting .250 on the year.
But that scattered him in the Giants dugout. Because he had some gas on that throw from first base.
That'd be right near where the manager hangs out in the corner of the dugout. Ball and 2 strikes on Manwaring. Schilling thus far in the first 2 innings has allowed just the 1 hit, a double by Robbie Thompson, and he has struck out 2.
There's J.R. Phillips, who's struggling offensively, charged with that errors. But as we saw from that replay, it wasn't that bad a throw, that's for sure. You know, the Phillies have the fewest number of home runs in the league, 16. So they need to do those kind of things that they've been doing in this homestand. Run the bases aggressively and make some things happen. That turns into a 2-run play because of good base running.
Ball's ripped foul, and the count's 2-2. Schilling last year on the disabled list 2 separate times. The first time was the first time in his career had the bone spur removed from his elbow. Second time was a freak incident. He underwent surgery on the left knee after the knee popped when getting up from a seated position. So it was a very tough 94 all the way around for Schilling after a dreamlike 93 season. But he's been on form this year thus far. 2-2 the count to Manwaring to start things off in the third. And he stays alive by fouling it off. There was a trade of interest today involving the Montreal Expos and the NL East. They had a little bit of a logjam in the outfield, and they were rumored to be trading one of their outfielders, and they did today. Roberto Kelly, along with pitcher Joey Eishen, sent to the Los Angeles Dodgers. First, the 2-2 pitch. He reached out and pulled one towards Stocker, a slow roller, but Stocker has time to get Manwaring. There's one away. Dodgers in return sending Montreal Henry Rodriguez and Jeff Treadway. What do you think about that trade, Wills?
Well, Henry Rodriguez is a guy who looks like he could be a terrific player. Now, I think he hit 4 home runs in an exhibition game this year.
Yes,
Didn't
he did.
4 home runs?
At Vero Beach. Wind was blowing out,
yeah,
but still.
And Rodriguez has been a guy that looks like he's on the verge of being a really good hitter. So, you know, the Expos are an organization who takes chances on young players. Kelly is an established veteran type player, and they're more the type of players that the Dodgers have a tendency to use, you know, other than the guys that come up in their farm system once in a while. But the Dodgers like some experienced players, so you can see that trade probably has one of those ones that'll help both of them, or they think it will.
This one is chopped high beyond Hayes, and he recovers to make the grab, throws in time. Nice scoop by Hollins. Boy, are the Phillies throwing some leather at the Giants early in the series.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough play for Stocker. He was going to get a short hop, but with a pitcher running, I'm sure Stocker thought he was going to be able to make the play, but a third baseman's supposed to cut off what he can get to. Charlie does, and then makes a low throw, but it hit the turf, and it'll get a truer hop for Hollins when the ball skids on the turf that way.
So 2 outs. Schilling is now retired. 7 straight Giants. Here's Darren Lewis. That trade will also open up center field for Rondell White, who's a guy who really needs to be playing on an everyday basis. And Rodriguez for the Expos can play a little bit of first base now with Cliff Floyd out for the season. So as you said, it should help both sides. Kelly probably takes over in center field. Mondesi will go back to right.
Yeah, I was just going to say Mondesi, you know, we haven't seen the Dodgers, so it's tough to say, but maybe Mondesi is not a center fielder. He is a great right fielder. Everybody knows that. Maybe have the best arm in the whole league. So to put him back in a position where he's comfortable is probably better for him. It'll probably help him even offensively. And Roberto Kelly's a good outfielder. Kelly's problem is offensively, he swings at everything. He's not a guy who's, you know, has a real good on-base percentage.
1-0 pitch to Darren Lewis is a called strike. It's 1-1. The Dodgers lost their leadoff hitter from the last few years, Brett Butler, and DeShields has been struggling as a leadoff hitter this year.
Bobby Bonds is pretty nimble down there. There he is, one of the great players. Boy, could he hit and play the outfield.
He and his son combined for the most ever home runs by a father-son tandem. And originally it looked like Barry would probably catch his father for the Major League record for 30 seasons, but that may not happen now.
Right.
Barry's got 2. Last year he was robbed of 1.
Yeah, and he's not going to run as much batting third with Matt Williams hitting behind him, I wouldn't think.
And his father, who had done it 5 times in his big league career, Barry's done it now twice and has come 1 stolen base short of doing it 2 other times. 30 home runs, 30 steals, a very exclusive club that the Bonds family has almost owned that category. 2-2 the count to Lewis.
One of the best outfields you ever see. Gary Matthews in left, Gary Maddox in center, and Bobby Bonds in right. They were something.
2-2 pitch is fouled away. The last year, Bobby Bonds reached the 30-30 milestone. He was 32 years of age, and Barry is 29, will turn 30 later this year. 2-2 the count to Darren Lewis. Phils lead at 2-0. We're in the top of the third. This one is also fouled away. So Schilling stays around the plate and Lewis stays alive.
See how Lewis likes to work the ball the other way too. I think he's one of those guys that likes it in, inside out it. And the Phillies play him as an opposite field hitter. He's gone both ways since he's come up. When he first started, he used to hit that way, the way they have him defense. Then he turned to more of a pull hitter. And now it looks like he's back to hitting more balls to right and right center, really waiting on it and trying to work it that way.
Into right center, where Jim Eisenreich drifts over, makes the call on the catch, and that'll do it for the Giants in the third. 8 straight sent down by Curt Schilling. He's only allowed 1 hit through 3 innings, and the Phils lead 2-0. You know, that June draft is not that far away, and the Phils brass is busy working at that just after Memorial Day weekend. It'll be June draft time, and one guy on the Phillies roster wasn't even drafted, and you don't always have to be, as Ricky Pitalico can attest to.
In college, I was more or less of a catcher, and I really didn't pitch too much, and my college coach thought I was going to stay one more year, stay my senior year, and that hurt because I really wanted to come and I wanted to play professional baseball. But it ended up in the summer. I went and pitched in a Hartford Twilight League, and the Philly scouts saw me there, and I gladly signed.
And Pitalico is glad that he signed, and so are the Phillies. You can see he was a '93 Phillies minor league pitcher of the year, and this year he has been outstanding. In his first real stint at the big league level, did get a cup of coffee last year in 3 appearances. Pitalico, thus far this year, has an 0.69 ERA in his 9 games appeared in. And I'm sure the Phils are very happy they attended the Hartford Twilight League to take a look at Ricky Pitalico and signed him. Prism with you tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. We have all 3 games between Barry Bonds and the Giants as they take on the Phillies in this 3-game series. Tomorrow, we start things off at 7 o'clock with our Game Time pregame show with Larry Rosen. And then the game will come your way at 7:30. There's BB, MVP 3 out of 4 years in 1990 and 92 and in 93. Take a look at the score. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Phil's on top of the Giants 2-0. And it all came on a strange play with Curt Schilling at the plate, runners on 1st and 3rd, and Topper in front of the plate. Schilling was thrown out. Eisenreich scored, and in doing so, the throw from J.R. Phillips went awry into the Giants dugout. That allowed Stocker to come all the way around from 1st. Mickey Morandini leading things off. He grounded out his first time up. 0-1 pitch is a good changeup. Morandini way out in front. It's 0-2. Tomorrow night's game on Prism will feature Paul Quantrill against Trevor Wilson. Then Thursday night, same time, same teams, Tyler Green against Mark Leiter. Seems like we've had Paul Quantrill and Tyler Green on almost every game on Prism.
Yeah. It fits a lot of these home games that we've been doing on Prism, that's for sure.
This is Curt Schilling's first start here at the vet. We don't do Sunday games, obviously, and it seems like Michael Mims always starts on Sunday. But we have been happy to show you the Quantrill-Green combination.
Phillies do not catch Terry Mulholland, which is kind of disappointing. I think fans would have liked to see Mulholland back in this ballpark pitching against the Phillies, but Terry pitched on Sunday at the Candlestick.
And it does not look like they're going to catch Hideo Nomo either, who is exciting with the Dodgers. 2-2 pitch to Morandini is outside. Nomo's pitching tonight in New York, and then he's scheduled to pitch again on Sunday against Montreal. However, if between now and Sunday there is a rainout in the Dodgers schedule, then Nomo would start the series here on Memorial Day against the Phillies. But as of right now, they are not scheduled to see the Japanese rookie Hideo Nomo. Curt Schilling with a couple of strikeouts tonight. Depending on what Nomo does, he now leads the National League. He came in tied with Hideo Nomo as we are being delivered some food by the Philly Fanatic as Mickey Morandini singles into right field to start off the third. Some hot dogs coming our way, courtesy of the Philly Fanatic.
These are the new Fanatic Franks from Medford Foods, and there's the Fanatic going around and passing out these tube steaks to us. Here they are.
The new Fanatic Franks.
Thank you, Fanatic. Thank you very much. Make sure you get
happy birthday,
one to the radio booth.
Oh, we got 3 more. It's a good thing I have the 4th inning off.
It's pretty good. Here.
That fits right into it. The truck is requesting a couple of Fanatic Franks. Sorry, he has refused. No Fanatic Franks for the truck. He wants us to concentrate on the ball game. 1-0. 1-0 the count to Jeffries. 2-0 in favor of the Phils. Anyhow, Schilling has 33 strikeouts coming in, 35 now on the season. Nomo had 33 coming into his start with the Mets, and John Smoltz had led the league with 34. So Schilling may have the lead depending on what Hideo is doing at Shea Stadium. 2-0 the count to Jeffries. He singled and stole a base his first time up. Fanatic Franks. Morandini back at first. Fanatic Franks is the new item. Kevin Stocker is new spokesperson for Fanatic Franks. Sure, he has tested the wares. Eric Gregg we saw in a commercial during the year.
Right, and Kevin is going to appear in some commercials for them.
Somehow you can see the Eric Gregg hot dog relationship a little bit easier than the Stocker and hot dog marriage. 2-1 the count to Jeffries. Fouled away, it's 2-2.
That's where Portugal can fool a hitter. 2-1, normal fastball situation where a hitter can really sit on a fastball and drive it. He got a fastball there, but I'm sure in the back of the mind of Greg Jeffries, he has to think this guy's going to throw me a changeup here. So he did not get a real good swing at a fastball.
Chased the pitch that was about shoulder high and fouled it away, and the count's 2-2. Jeffries really went upstairs for that one.
Well, they want to hit the fastball off this guy, Todd, if they can. And you know, when you see a fastball from Portugal, even though, as you say, that ball was high, sure Jeffries had a look at it that I'm going after that thing, because his changeup is his out pitch. Now Portugal, this is one guy that he hasn't had much luck with in the Phillies lineup, is Greg Jeffries.
Jeffries' .322 career against the Giants, .375 career against Portugal. 2-2 the count, nobody out. Morandini on first. A little bit outside. That was pitch number 50 issued by Mark Portugal.
Good time to run.
Great time to run. Jeffries, second toughest to strike out in the National League this year. Portugal likes to throw that changeup at any count in the order to the lefties. There is the changeup. Morandini was running, but Jeffries pops it up. But Mickey will retreat as Robbie Thompson makes the play in shallow center field, one away here in the third.
Yeah, the 3-2 changeup.
Probably throws as many changeups as anybody that starts in the National League.
Well, it's made him into a heck of a pitcher. Got him a huge contract with the San Francisco Giants.
Here's Dave Hollins. He walked his first time up. That was only his 29th walk of the year.
Phillies almost got Mark Portugal from Houston. for the stretch run in September. But that deal did not pan out, and they still won it without him. But he's a pitcher they wanted. Lee Thomas wanted him a lot, but the Astros and the Phillies just weren't able to get together on players or on the salaries involved, or figuring that the Phillies would probably lose Portugal after just 1 month or into the playoffs and World Series.
Pitches up high to Hollins at 2-0. The biggest change you see on this Giants team, the position players have stayed relatively the same, but the pitching has changed quite a bit. John Burkett now in Florida. Billy Swift now with the other expansion team, the Colorado Rockies. Solomon Torres was recently traded over to the American League to the Seattle Mariners.
Solomon Torres had their only complete game last year. With Rod Beck around, they did not have a whole lot of complete games.
2-0 pitch up high. It's 3-0. Torres never quite came back from losing that game to the Dodgers 12-1 in the final game of the season when the Giants had that great drive against the Atlanta Braves.
Dusty Baker knows that his pitcher is struggling tonight.
Hollins takes a 3-0 pitch on the outside corner. It's 3-1. Well, the Giants are starting a 9-game road trip, with 3 here in Philadelphia. Change up at 3-1. That's a called strike. Giants will have longer road trips than this in the season, but this is one of their lengthier ones. 3-2 the count to Dave Hollins.
Might as well run again.
Sure. 1 out. Morandini still at first. He is running, and Hollins draws walk number 30 on the season, his second of the night. Phils have runners on first and second. This guy is walking at an incredible pace. 30 walks. Phillies playing game number 24. First and second, 1 out for Darren Dalton. Well, Hideo Nomo has fallen behind, or actually has an early lead for him, as Raul Mondesi has hit a home run in New York. Dodgers leading the Mets 1-0. Here the Phils lead 2-0. We're in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Darren Dalton grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Talked about the Giants starting a 9-game road trip. Phils begin a stretch of 16 straight days, Wheels, without an off day.
Yeah,
and a bullpen.
And you factor in last night, even though there you look at the Giants bench, even though they didn't use their pitchers last night, they're going to play, what, 20 days in a row.
It's a lot of straight games, especially with a weary bullpen.
So that's why they need innings out of Schilling tonight. And that way they'd have a couple nights off, a couple days off.
1-1 the count to Dalton. First and second, 1 out. Down low, it's 2-1. And the Phils will also get their share of games against Western Division teams. 18 of their next 19 are against the West. They finish up this homestand with 10 out of the last 11, or 9 out of the last 10 against the West. And they head out to the West Coast themselves. High pop-up on the 2-1 pitch. Infield fly rule in effect. Williams makes the catch for the second out.
Darren Dalton has no luck at all against Mark Portugal. Coming into this game, 1 for 15. And tonight, 2 men on both times he's come up. And he's gotten him out relatively with ease, with relative ease. So Dalton, Portugal is a guy that Dalton just cannot solve.
There's Jim Eisenreich. He singled and scored the game's first run and created the second run with his base running. Eisenreich coming home on a ground out. Throw went into the Giants dugout, and Stocker scored on the same play. Grounds one towards the first baseman. J.R. Phillips gloves, tags the bag, and that'll do it for the Phils here in the 3rd. So a single and a walk, 2 men left on base, and former Giant and former Philly Gary Maddox will join Chris Wheeler in the 4th.
All women 15 and over get a big, colorful Silver Season beach towel free. Compliments of Medford Foods when the Phils take on the Padres Sunday, May 28th at 1:35. Big game, big towel, Silver Season moments. Call 463-1000.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
During the Dodge National Best Buy sale, we've made Dodge Intrepid an even better buy thanks to Intrepid's biggest incentives ever. Like up to $1,897 off, including up to $1,500 cash towards your down payment. Or select 4.9 financing instead of cash savings. So buy now, and Dodge Intrepid, the car that changed everything, can substantially change your bottom line. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Jim Herr doesn't use just any potatoes. But then Jim Herr doesn't make just any potato chip. Make hers yours.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Phillies lead the Giants 2-1 as we go to the fourth inning. That means it's Gary Maddox time. Okay, so who'd you win that Gold Glove for? In '75. Was it for the Phillies or the Giants?
You know, I spent about, a month in San Francisco hitting about $125. Got traded over here, you know, and ran down a couple balls, and guys were amazed at, you know, just going out there running down some. So I said, I'll try and make a living at this. And sure enough. But the Gold Gloves in terms of the Phillies, it was all based on the fact that these guys worked hard on defense. When you came over here, you came out early, and you worked hard. There's Bobby Bonds there.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before you came on about that outfield with you, Matthews, and Bobby Bonds. That was some outfield.
Say, man, we might be able to do that again. Matthews has a son that's in the minor leagues now. Obviously, Bobby has two sons that are playing.
Yep.
A couple that, that might be there one day. So maybe we'll redo that again.
I'd love to watch you sit up here and do your own son sometime on the air. That would be interesting to watch. That'd be a nervous time.
I tell you, it's nervous just going to watch him play.
Robbie Thompson double to right center, his first time up. The only hit off Kurt Schilling. That was a one-out double, and Thompson was stranded as Schilling was able to get Bonds and Matt Williams.
Well, you think the Giants aren't happy to have this guy every day?
Fly ball center field where Jim Eisenreich plays the night for the injured Lenny Dykstra. Lenny, by the way, if you're just tuning in, Phillies hope to have him back in the final game of this series. He will not play tonight, nor will he play tomorrow night. He's on some medication from Dr. Marone and some anti-inflammation medication, and they hope that will do the job, and he will be back on Thursday.
As someone has had surgery on their back, man, I know he is in some pain.
Here's Bonds. Perry swung at the first pitch his first time up and hit a weak fly ball to Jeffries in left field. Barry got off to a real slow start and then got hot, and then he's been a little bit cold again. Just 5 for his last 29.
Yeah, he said he's going out there one day swinging the bat well, the next day not doing so well.
He told Jim Fregosi before the game as he fouls that off that he's just spotting these guys some numbers right now, and he'll be along later. He is supremely confident.
Yeah, he is. I was talking about it. You know, I was talking to him before the game about how much longer he wants to play, and he said right now he's focusing on that 400 goal. The bad news for the rest of the league is I think he's planning on doing it in 3 years.
Wow.
No, he needs about 140 more home runs and a little under 100 stolen bases.
Pretty famous high school right there, Sarah High, in the San Francisco Bay Area. He's way out in front of that and hits it foul, kicked around by a bunch of fans, and then a guy makes a great play. Two balls and 2 strikes now on Barry Bonds. With Matt Williams waiting on deck. It bounces up there. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bonds.
He threw the ball out.
Threw it out
in the
himself.
dirt. He picked it up, looked at it, threw it out.
He knows.
He's lying.
He's a lifetime .250 hitter off Schilling with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Remember, he hit that home run to tie a game in the 9th inning at Candlestick one night off Schilling. Schilling made a good pitch on him there, and he fouled that one straight back. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But that was a pitch up and out of the strike zone. He has to be a little bit more disciplined. I mean, even the great Barry Bonds has to have strikes to hit at.
Well, he's walked 22 times this year, only 2 times intentionally, and that's because of Williams behind him. Oh, what a nasty pitch that was. Looked like a 3-2 breaking ball. He took it for ball 4. So Schilling issues his first walk of the game.
3-2 breaking ball on trying to go for the outside corner. That's a lot of respect. Well, Darren's sitting up over the middle of the plate, but look at him try and get that on the outside corner, and it's away.
That either locked him or he's got the greatest eye in the league.
Yeah, well, you know, I think his numbers back up the greatest eye in the league part of it. Now, for someone like me, I'd have been hacking at that. That's
really
for certain.
Matt Williams, who struck out on a high and tight fastball his first time up. There goes Bonds. Swing and a miss. Dalton's throw is low, and Bonds steals it. Here he goes to third. So Barry Bonds runs on the first pitch. Dalton's throw is low, and that's stolen base number 7 for Barry Bonds.
Well, I tell you, this is a guy, runner on third base, less than 2 outs. He normally gets him in, Matt Williams. Here's Bonds getting the lead right there. He's trying to do something to get it started. I know they don't hit and run with those two too much.
No, I think Bonds just wanted to try and steal a base. Williams saw a pitch he liked, and he hacked at it.
Well, you see, Stocker was late getting over there because he has to play Matt Williams so far in the hole for him to hit on the ground. So
he wasn't able to back it up.
Exactly.
Stocker, as you see him way over in the hole there. They count 0-1 now on Matt Williams. Phillies, of course, will play the infield back, leading it 2-0 in the 4th inning. Williams swinging a foul back off the facing in the press box. Back into a crowd. A fan leaped in the air, and his momentum took him down a couple rows. There he is. Nice play.
You know, people wonder why Barry Bonds would hit 5th behind a Matt Williams instead of 3rd or 4th. I mean, when he's hitting behind Matt, he gives him a lot of protection, makes pitchers pitch to him. You know, now you take Bonds away from him, and it affects how pitchers are going to work him.
Good slider by Schilling there, and Matt Williams, when a guy is hot, he'll foul that kind of pitch off.
You know, Bobby Bonds was telling me before the game that Matt has just matured so much as a hitter that they feel that they can now make that move to put Barry in front of him.
There's Bonds at third base, and the Giants are trying to get him home to cut the Phillies lead in half. Fastball high and away, 1-2. Matt Williams coming into the game tonight, 1st in homers, 2nd in batting average, 1st in runs batted in.
Well, yeah, well, I was down in the clubhouse right before the game. He has that Dave Hollins game face. You know, when you see him before the game, you know they're serious.
Dalton has to block that one in the dirt, so Williams is back to even now, 2-2. Curt Schilling at 50 pitches here in the 4th inning. It's a good ratio for Schilling.
He's in that groove now. It's so important for Curt to get off to a good start this year, you know, to get that confidence that he needs.
He's trying to make the perfect pitches now to Williams, and he missed with that slider. 3-2 to Matt with Glenn Allen Hill on deck.
Well, you see guys coming into your ballpark with the numbers that Williams is possessing. You know, you have to be a little careful.
Bonds a runner at third. Matt Williams just does not pull off the way that he used to right-handed batters. They used to strike him out with breaking balls all the time. Got him to chase the high fastball. 2nd time tonight that they've got him to chase that high up and in heater.
Well, they've been working him the whole night inside. That's been the key, but the ball's been up and he's been offering at it. You know, there are probably not many pitchers that can throw the ball by him like that or get him to offer at those pitches. But you see they're out of the strike zone. Any hitter, Matt Williams, Barry Bonds, they need to hit strikes. And that's just being set up so that you will offer at that pitch. It's a good job of being set up by the catcher and the pitcher.
And now it's up to Glenn Allen Hill. He struck out on a fork ball his first time up. A swing foul tip held on to by Dalton. Glenn Allen Hill originally in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, then over to Cleveland. Spent some time with the Cubs, and then late in spring training they wound up getting him as a free agent. That up and in fastball again.
Well, you see Curt Schilling doing a lot of pitching in, and you hear about, for pitchers to be successful in this league, they must throw inside. Curt Schilling giving a good example of that tonight.
Schilling has been working a good slider and a forkball in his last few outings. As we look at Bonds leading off third now with 2 outs. You want that fastball in again. And there they come with it. It's another foul tip. And it's 1-2. Well, now they've established in, so they got a couple ways they can go. Let's see what they try to do. 1-2.
Well, you know, if you're going to throw that split finger, you got to make sure that you don't bounce it up there.
It's coming back in again. Oh. Schilling wanted it, didn't get it. Home plate umpire tonight is Jerry Lane. And the count is 2-2 as they continue to throw inside fastballs to Glenn Allen Hill.
But with the guy on third base, you cannot be afraid to throw that ball that'll go in the dirt. You got to rely on your catcher to block it if it is there, but you got to go with that pitch, you know, that you know you can get the hitter out with, and that's a split finger in this.
Nubber, and they'll let it go foul. Looks like another fastball in. See if we can get that center field shot and see if they go away from the up and in fastball. They seem to you know, that's the way they want to go with Glenn Allen Hill so far in the count.
The Giants with Hill, they've just really been impressed at how strong this guy is. Ball a long way.
He can run too. He's a pretty good outfielder. Here we go. See what Darren Daulton wants here now. That's the forkball sign. Oh, and there it is, and just what you're talking about, Daulton has to scramble to block it, but they decided to go with one.
Right, you cannot be afraid to throw it. Here it is, Darren Daulton anticipating that ball to be down.
Oof. And Bonds, as good a base runner as he is, he was poised to score. Where do you go here now? 3-2.
Trick him.
No more up and in?
I think he's seen that up and in.
Well, here it comes again. And they got in on it, but he fouled it off.
Yeah.
3 balls and 2 strikes. So they have a real chess match going on right now. Schilling, Daulton, and Glenn Allen Hill as the Phillies try to keep a 2-0 lead. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Walks, 1 out walk, stolen base error on the throw by Daulton to Bonds, and then a strikeout of Matt Williams. 3-2 to Glenn Allen Hill. Back in there again.
He wanted it back in there.
Off.
He got that one a little bit more over the plate than he wanted it. But these guys are chasing that pitch up in the strike zone, so you know Schilling has good pop on that fastball. Guys can't hold up on it.
Real good at bat by Glenn Allen Hill, Gary. 8 pitches thus far.
I like what Schilling's been doing out there. You know, even in this at bat, he's been working the corners, getting just good pop.
Oh, and went with a slider, it looked like, and walked him. 3-2. First pitch they really threw away to him in the whole at bat.
Well, they had him set up, you know, and that's the thing. If you have the guy set up right, all you got to do is just fool him a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect slider on the black. You know, you just need to throw it over the plate, and he gets this one way outside.
Yep, that was definitely outside, and Glenn Allen Hill wasn't close enough really for him to fish.
Exactly. You had him set up to where you don't need to throw it on the black. You just need to get him off balance a little bit. So Darren wanted that pitch to be a strike.
Royce Clayton grounded out to Charlie Hayes his first time up. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. Glenn Allen Hill has 5 stolen bases. He's also been caught 5 times, which would indicate they're playing some hit and run when he's on base. Remember the way they used to hit and run when Roger Craig was here?
Either they're playing a lot of hit and running, or he's just
you see guys with that
he's
many,
just not getting that good a jump.
You see that guys with that many caught stealings who bat down in the lineup 5, you figure he's been getting nailed a few times.
Plus, you're also saying that they swung and missed on all those hit and runs too.
Could be. He can run though. He is a guy that does like to run. Clayton pulled off that one and fouled it off. So Schilling's ahead of him 0-2. Schilling working hard in this inning to try and keep the Giants from scoring. Beautiful night here at Veterans Stadium. Great breeze. Nice and cool. Good night to play.
I think I can pass on this game tonight. These guys that got pitched in Portugal and Schilling. I'll take the night off.
Bonds at third and Hill at first. 2 outs. And there's the forkball sign. And he hits it down the line. It's a fair ball. And it's going to go all the way to the corner. 1 run scores. Glenn Allen Hill is being waved around. Stocker's relay to the plate is not in time. And the Giants scored on a 2-run double by Royce Clayton on an 0-2 pitch.
See, again, now, if you're Schilling and you're going to throw the forkball and you just bounced one, you're probably thinking, hey, I want to get this one up a little bit. And that's just what he did. Got it up and in. And you'll watch and see right here. Boom. Nothing on it. Inside the line there.
Yeah, and it doesn't catch the corner of those box seats the way it does most of the time. Now all the way to the corner, so they're able to score the runner from first base.
Yeah, Hill could run. You were right, Chris. He's getting around that base pretty good.
Oh, he's a good runner. Royce Clayton with 16 runs batted in now as Bond scores.
You know, and the thing is, with 2 outs, though, this happens. You know, after working to get around Matt Williams with a runner on third with less than 2 outs.
And now he has J.R. Phillips, a left-handed batter up, who's grounded to short his one time up. So we're in a 2-2 game here in the 4th inning. Phillips a late swing and a miss.
You know, when you look at his numbers and you see how many at-bats he has right there, you have to ask yourself, why are they staying with him so long? And, you know, I asked Dusty Baker that question. He said the job is his. You know, it's his to lose. Needs to make a lot more adjustments with what the pitchers will allow him to do. They're pitching him away, but he still doesn't want to go that way. So, you know, just a learning phase for this young player.
Looks like he has a tendency to swing through pitches.
Right. Well, you know, the way Bobby Bonds was explaining it, you know, he wants to go up there and do what he wants to do instead of what the pitchers will allow him to do as a hitter. So you got to make these adjustments when you get into this league.
Schilling ahead 0-2 again, and the fastball up and in, ball 1. J.R. Phillips. Well, they released Benzinger the other day, so that means he's the first baseman. Against left-handed pitching, they do play Mark Carrion occasionally.
They like him at first base as a first baseman. They say he has good tools down there.
Well, that's always nice if that goes along with offense, but there aren't too many first basemen that are in games that can't hit. You got to have offense at first and third.
There is no question.
He's hit some homers in the minors, that's for sure.
Well, you know, they thought he was ready. You know, that's the reports that the Giants got was this guy was ready to play in the big leagues.
Threw a fastball right by him. Strange inning there. The Giants wind up with 2 runs in the inning on just 1 hit, 2 walks. There was an error and 1 man left on base. We're all tied at 2.
The revitalized, reorganized San Diego Padres come in for 3 games. 1, Friday, May 26th at 7:35. 2, Saturday the 27th at 7:05. It's photo night, and you can take pictures of your favorite Phils from the field. 3, Sunday, May 28th at 1:35, when all women 15 and over get a big silver season beach towel, compliments of Medford Foods, free. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Last Saturday, my wife Lisa and I went shopping. You know, we're not paying any attention. That's when it hit me. What would happen to our family if Lisa weren't around anymore?
Well, recently I've been trying to get Dave and Lisa to review their life insurance.
We then called Kim. She's our nationwide insurance agent.
Lisa now has the life insurance she needs.
Sometimes I think about what almost happened. But thanks to Kim, I don't worry about what might happen.
Nationwide is on your side.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. By Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By your Quality Plus Ford dealers, home of 5 of the top 10 selling cars and trucks. And by your Nationwide Insurance dealers. Your nationwide representative in Cedars is Lenny Torrance.
Charlie Hayes leads it off. For the Phillies, it'll be Charlie Hayes, Kevin Stocker, and then Curt Schilling. Mark Portugal has been in some jams tonight, but for the most part has worked out. In fact, the Phillies are very fortunate to have 2 runs, even though he struggled almost the whole game.
That was that play they scored on that throw by Phillips to the catcher that allowed him to get 2 runs in there, so they are very fortunate.
Ooh. Change up, line to left for a base hit. Bonds has to back up on it and makes the play and gets it back in. So Charlie Hayes on with a hit. Both teams have scored their 2 runs on just 1 hit.
You know, the thing with the change up, with the fork ball that Schilling throws, you get that ball up, there's not a whole lot on it, and guys can just wail on it when you make a mistake with it. That was a change up that was up. He started him off with a breaking ball that got the outside corner, then came back with another off-speed pitch. You have to question maybe that selection of pitches there.
Here's Kevin Stocker. He grounded out to Robbie Thompson, who stepped on second base, got a fielder's choice his first time up.
Ooh, nice play.
Now they got to make a tag. Out at first. Okay, he never throws the second. J.R. Phillips, Gary talking about him being a pretty good defensive player, showed some of it there.
Oh, yeah, that was really smooth.
He was set to throw to second. He had taken the force off, and they would have had to make a tag play.
You're doing all that stuff on your knees right there, but he knew, he had an idea what he wanted to do. That was a pitch away that Stocker pulled. Look at that, on his knees, makes a nice play. Wanted to get up and throw it and lost it. Would have been close at second, would have required a tag, so.
There's an example holding the runner on. Might have cost Stocker an extra base hit. As he was playing near the bag, made a good play. Here's Schilling. Schilling hit that little nubber out in front of the plate and wound up getting 2 runs home on it. One on an RBI on the fielder's choice, and the other when the throw from Phillips sailed into the dugout, and they gave the error to the first baseman, Phillips. 0-2 to Schilling. Gary Varsho waits on deck. Varsho batting in the leadoff spot tonight with Lenny out with a sore back for a couple days.
Let's go back to Stocker for a second. Portugal threw him a changeup. I mean, that's a guy that you need to pound and let him hit the ball the other way. He almost cost him big time.
Well, you know, those changeups. That's his pitch. I know what you're saying, though, because that'll speed up a guy's bat and have him pull the ball, and it almost cost him.
Yeah, well, if you're playing the guys the other way and you're throwing them changeups.
No balls and 2 strikes to Schilling. There's the score, 2-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Schilling taps one to J.R. Phillips. He'll take it himself. Out at first is Schilling, and over to third goes Charlie Hayes. 2 outs. And Varsho has grounded to second and lined to Phillips at first base. Gary Varsho getting the start tonight, now batting at .263, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Varsho coming into the game 1 for 7 lifetime off Portugal with an RBI. Change up, big swing and a miss. He will throw that at any time, especially to left-handed hitters. Tremendous arm speed. And he's ahead of Varsho 0-2. Mickey Morandini waits on deck.
He has a good deuce. Portugal has a real good curveball.
Yeah, it's a curveball too. He doesn't throw a whole lot of sliders. Spots his fastball and uses his changeup whenever he can. There's one. And he gets a weak ground ball out of it. Phillips wins the race to the bag, and the Phillies are out here in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 2-4, it's 2-2.
Hey, look, honey, it's, you know, one of those 3D illusion puzzles.
Oh, you know, I hate those things. I can never see the thing. You know, the
Well,
thing hidden there?
Just keep staring at
I'm
it.
staring at it. I don't see anything. Wait a minute. Wow.
So, what do you say?
I see you and me on a romantic weekend.
Wow, you're not so bad at this after all.
To take advantage of this great rate, just call your travel agent or TWA at 1-800-221-2000. Transworld Airlines. We're up to something good.
The Bud Light Amateur Beach Challenge. They're lean. They're mean.
Ooh, they're killing us. Yeah. How about 2 out of 3?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
What's wrong with her?
make it a Bud Light.
The old timers like this one. But if it were up to me,
Well, it was so popular last year, it's back. The Phillies card set featuring full color cards of all the Phillies, plus a team picture and a nifty fold-out package. All compliments of Mellon PSFS for all fans 14 and under. That is when those Florida Marlins come to town on Saturday, June the 17th. Game time will be at 7:05. Call 463-1000 for your tickets, or stop by the Center City ticket office, which just happens to be at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets. Kurt Manwaring will lead it off, followed by Mark Portugal and then Darren Lewis. Manwaring, number 8 in the lineup, grounded out to Stocker his first time up. Outside 2-0. Schilling walked 2 batters in the 4th inning, Bonds and Hill, and they both scored on Clayton's double. And that tied it up, and that's where we stand 2-2 here in the 5th. Pop-up. Foul. Dalton coming back, and he will run out of room. Kurt Schilling here in the 5th inning has thrown 75 pitches. The 4th inning was tough on him. Had quite a few batters in that inning work him tough. And as well as he pitched in that inning, he still gave up the 2 runs.
He did. He pitched real well to Matt Williams.
Yeah, you think that would have been the key. And then Clayton hurt him 0-2. There's a good slider over for a strike. 2-2. And runs another full count. He ran several of those in the 4th inning when he got hurt.
Now here's the pitch right here. These guys are some fastball hitting guys here. You know, what are you going to come in with now?
Fastball, pop up down the line, long run for everybody. Nobody can get there.
You know, I don't know if Hollins couldn't get there as much as he may have lost that. You know, looking back over his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was the closest to it.
Here you see it right there. He's looking back over his right shoulder. You see it go over his left a little bit now. I think he lost it. Tough play, nonetheless.
Wasn't hit real high. Jammed him. Manwaring is an inside outer anyway, and he hits a lot of balls to right and right center. Phillies play him that way. And he walked him. Walk number 3. And that'll bring up Portugal, who can handle the bat. Portugal this year is 0 for 8, but he has 3 sacrifices. Last year, Portugal batted .354 with 5 doubles and a triple. You see the look on the bench. Hate to walk the 8-hole hitter. Phillies will look for the bunt now from Mark Portugal. Season-high third walk for Schilling. He did not walk anybody in his no, he walked 2 in his last out with the 12 strikeouts. He has a play at second. Got him. Back to first. Got him. Good play by Schilling. And Portugal comes up limping at first base, or unless it's still his leg bothering him from the surgery last year.
It's still his leg. He limped his first at bat as well. But it was really important for him to get a good bunt down, especially when you're hurting like that.
See that big brace on his right leg from the anterior cruciate ligament repair.
But you see what Schilling does is he gives him that high, hard fastball, and he bunts it hard right back to Schilling. He tried to push it up the first base line, but Schilling was over there to make a good play.
And Schilling knowing, of course, as you look at that brace on his leg, look at that thing. A tough competitor, Mark Portugal, as he had that surgery in August, and here he is back pitching. That's a reconstructive surgery. Schilling knowing that man-wearing, the catcher's running, so he had a shot at him, and then they turned the double play. So that's big for the Phillies. As Darren Lewis bats, he's 0 for 2. He's popped up, flied out. Another inside outer. Likes to hit the ball to right and right center. The guys who, like say a right-handed hitter who likes to hit the ball the other way, do they want the ball in on them to work?
Oh, definitely. That's where you can hit it that way with some power, with some authority. If you hit the ball inside out and you have to go out and hit it, you're not going to drive it as much. So the inside out one just takes a little flick of the wrist, the ball's inside to you.
So you'd rather pitch a guy who inside out the ball away then?
Definitely.
No balls and 2 strikes now on Darren Lewis.
You inside out, your hands are close to your body. You fight the ball. Your bat is late going through the strike zone. The head of the bat is late going to the strike zone, and that's why you hit the ball the other way. But if you have to extend and hit it out there, you don't usually drive that pitch. See, guys will get up close to the plate to try and get you to pitch them inside, to make you think that, if you're up close to the plate and you're trying to pull the ball, like Hundley from the Mets the last series, then you're in trouble. But if you're up on the plate and you're trying to inside out it, pitches inside will help you.
0-2 pitch to Royce Clayton. This one's outside, misses 1 and 2. Schilling has walked 3, struck out 4, given up just 2 hits. But the one hit was a costly 2-run double to Royce Clayton, which tied the ball game in the 4th inning, and that's where we are right now, 2-2. First of 3 with these San Francisco Giants. Game and a half out are the Giants. Or actually 2 out. Did he go? Yes, says Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire.
He missed it.
Lewis can't believe that. He thinks that he should have gotten an appeal on that. Lane makes the call, and Lewis is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Still 2-2 after 4.5.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay, if you're good, I'll read you a story.
Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry. We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss,
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
the most important thing
Hello?
is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
Junior Conway has just given this 1967 Ferrari a $75,000 paint job.
Autofoam is the only product I would use to protect this paint job.
Autofoam with Foam from Blue Coral. Now available in a complete system of Autofoam products, including surface sealant, car wash, upholstery and carpet care, wheel cleaner, and shine booster to protect your car inside and out. Plus ultra protectant with fade block for long-lasting protection and shine. Protect your car in every way. Only Blue Coral Autofoam has Foam.
New Philly Fanatic Franks. He's so great, you just gotta try him. 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 New Philly Fanatic Franks. You just gotta try him.
Hey, Dream Week will be coming up next year, but it's time right now to think about it. 1 full week to play ball with the Phillies legends in Clearwater, Florida. I mean, you'll meet Ashburn, Boa, Lazinski, Jim Fregosi, and players that have made Phillies history. And it'll be at Phillies Dream Week. That's in Clearwater, Florida. What a great time that is. 215-938-1200. 215-938-1200. You can take up to 4 years to pay. You can make that call right now, too. So go ahead. We'll see you next year in Florida.
So you still playing that? Or
I don't play. I just go.
What do you,
I have an
you don't do anything?
I have an executive role now.
Oh, okay. You used to play.
Oh, yeah. One ball and no strikes to Mickey Morandini. He's grounded out.
I think you're an administrator.
And single. That's it. I like that ball. Two and one to Morandini, who has been a hot hitter. Mickey with his average up to 329 on a 1-for-2 night. As we mentioned earlier, he's one of the few guys in the Phillies lineup who's had some luck with Portugal.
So, you know, I was talking to Dusty. I popped in on him. He was perusing the stat sheet. He said, how are they doing it over there without Jeffries hitting?
What'd you tell him?
Well, he told me, he said, well, I guess you look at Morandini, some of the games he's had, some of the games that Stocker has thrown at him.
There he is, and only 16 home runs for the Phillies.
You know what he pointed out, though? He said that,
got a fastball to hit and drives it to deep left center. Lewis will never get there. Bounces off the wall. Morandini into second with a stand-up double. He got a fastball to hit, and they had overshifted on him.
Well, you get used to throwing all those off-speed pitches, and then you come back with the fastball. Mickey did a good job of just going with that pitch.
Dick Pohl, the pitching coach, and Dusty Baker look on.
See, look at the fastball. I mean, when you go ahead and drive the ball where it's pitched, you can get those kind of results. But, I mean, they must have been looking for something on speed because the center fielder is playing him over in right field. You don't play Mickey Morandini there unless you're planning on throwing him off speed.
Right. There you see double number 6 for Mickey, and Jeffries the batter. He'll be trying to pull the ball. Off-speed pitch over for a strike. He has singled, stolen a base, and popped up. 2-2 ball game here in the 5th inning. Phillies with a leadoff double. They've out-hit the Giants 5-2. Both teams have an error. Fastball strike called, says Jerry Lane. And Jeffries can't believe it. And now you see Portugal at 75 pitches. Portugal is a nibbler, so his ball strike ratio is not going to be that great necessarily. Another up the middle. Good base running by Morandini. And Jeffries is thrown out. Morandini makes a good play there to get the third on the nubbing ground ball to the shortstop.
Well, if you're on second base, you normally will not go to third on a ball that's hit to the left side of the infield. But when you notice it's hit slow like that, you go ahead and make your move. That's good base running. That, you know, as a rule, you will not go if the ball's hit to the left side. Good base running is when you recognize something different has happened and yet you can still make it.
Right. See, the Giants have brought their infield. Well, now they're coming all the way in for Dave Hollins, who has walked twice. Think the Phillies have a contact play on now? Strike call. Portugal getting ahead of these hitters with a runner in scoring position. Dalton on deck.
No, I don't think they have a contact play on.
Okay, Dalton is 1 for 17 off Portugal.
So the thing with contact, you got to be going. It might be a line drive at somebody.
Well, he started both hitters with a breaking ball and then threw a fastball in for a strike, and it's gotten 0-2 the same way.
Well, you can understand why he was having some success at this point, because he's been throwing nothing but changeups, and now he'll sneak a fastball of all places on the inside. That's the last thing they're looking for.
Giants with the infield all the way in. 0-2 pitch outside.
So you're not going to fool Dave Hollins now with a fastball, I don't think, in this situation. But what you want to try and do is to throw him something off speed away from him and hope that he'll pull it. You know, try and pull it and hit a ground ball to the right side.
Morandini is taking that walking lead coming down the line as if he's thinking about going on contact. It's hard to tell by the lead, but he certainly has the proper lead if that's what they want him to do. Larry Boa talking to him between pitches as we look at Mark Portugal. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Dave Hollins.
See, you go on contact and there's a line drive to the outfield. You can't make it back to tag up and score. So I'd rather have him be able to tag up in this situation.
Hollins pops one foul right back up here. And off the facing of the upper deck and back into the crowd.
I thought we had it.
Yeah, we had it. You were ducking as much as I was.
I didn't say I was
the Gold Glover.
I was going to get it after. I was going to get it after it stopped rolling.
Yeah, good. Wasn't headed at you. 2-2 to Hollins. Good block by Manwaring on that ball in the dirt. Manwaring, one of 5 Gold Glovers in the starting lineup tonight for the Giants. Giants have the best defensive team in the league this year, and have had the best defensive team in the league 3 out of the last 4. There's another Gold Glover.
I think the biggest thing you're going to miss over there with the Giant Ball Club is that Will Clark at first. He was.
Yep, he's on contact. You could tell by that nubbing ground ball that Hollins just hit that Mickey Morandini was breaking on contact. Gary, explain this play.
Well, what he's doing is he's waiting to see contact. Any type of contact he sees, he's going to be going. And I'm sure that they're trying to get him to go on a ball that's on the ground.
Yeah, if it's a line drive, he's dead anyway. He's that far down. Oh. Hollins walks for the 3rd straight time, and Dave Hollins has now walked 31 times. Dick Pohl, the pitching coach. And here's Dalton, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop-up. And as we mentioned, 1 for 17 with a run batted in lifetime off Mark Portugal. So Darren Dalton is due against this guy.
So how many Gold Glovers did you say?
5.
5
in their starting lineup, yeah.
Seems like that's a good reason not to walk anybody, wouldn't you think?
Now the infield at double play depth, and these guys are the best in the league at that.
Ooh.
Strike called. He's been getting ahead of the batters in this inning.
0-1. That was borderline. That's a good pitch for him to get. If you're a pitcher, as a hitter, you got to let that one go.
Yeah, that's a double play ball. That's just the kind of pitch he wants him to swing at.
Well, yeah, he wants him to try and pull that pitch. Like that.
And he's 0-2 on yet another batter. Look at how hitters with certain guys just have a lot of trouble with him, and Dalton struggles against Portugal.
He does. I mean, and that ball is moving away from him. He just reaches for him. Now, he's had 2 balls that were outside of the strikes, outside of the plate. I guess Portugal's going to want to see if he'll chase another one even further out.
Oh, yeah, the Manwaring set up out there. Oh, he came back inside. What a good block by Portugal. I mean, by Manwaring.
That was a curveball, and it was inside, and it bounced.
This guy is a good catcher. Look at this block.
Oh, that ball comes up.
Just a textbook way to do it. He's not even thinking about catching this ball. He's just blocking.
Look where he's sitting, though. He's looking for the ball outside. It's way inside and on the ground, and he just throws his body in front of that. And how about the high kick it got?
Good play. Move over to first. Dave Hollins back. 2-2 ball game here in the 5th inning. Phillies with runners at the corners. And there's 1 out. There's Mickey Morandini at third, Hollins at first.
Larry was just telling Mickey, watch out for that fake the third and throw to first.
Dalton pops it up foul out of play. Came in on him then. On deck is Jim Eisenreich. And your runners are Morandini at third. And over at first, Dave Hollins. Mark Portugal, now 32 years of age. He's working man wearing this inning. And just your average block on that one, 2 and 2.
That was just an awful pitch right there. They got nothing accomplished, just a change up down in the dirt.
Yeah, they started out working away from him and now have come back inside a little bit. That's a guy the Phillies are trying to get home to break the tie. Hollins at first. Pop-up. Shallow center field. Not going to score anybody on this. Darren Lewis waits. Morandini will bluff off third. And the crowd yells because it throws way offline, but there's no way Boa can send him on Darren Lewis from right there.
Well, there's no question.
That's just what he said. Are you kidding me?
And Darren Lewis threw the ball to the first baseman, Phillips, but Phillips was looking over at the runner and missed it.
Yep.
You'll see right here, this is just a tag up to make him make a throw.
Right.
No intention of going.
You know what he's thinking when he heard those boos, right? The Dalton has had runners in scoring position all night against Mark Portugal, not able to do it. A guy Darren's just having a lot of trouble with. And Eisenreich, the batter, trying to pick up a 2-out run now. He singled and scored and grounded out. This is down low. Does Portugal?
Eisenreich, a guy we know. If you throw him that off-speed pitch away, he will hit it the other way. He's a guy that'll hit the ball where it's pitched, so a good guy to have up off a guy like Portugal.
He's 2 for 12 off him with his 1 for 2 tonight. Notice these numbers, and most of them are against these left-handed batters. Shows you how effective Portugal is against left-handed hitters because of that changeup.
Well, I think the changeup is effective against anyone because it requires you to wait so long, and a lot of times if it's moving away, hit the ball the other way. Most hitters don't do that as a rule very well.
He hasn't been behind many hitters in this inning. Now he's behind Eisenreich 3-0. We'll take a look at Boa, see whether or not he gets a green light. Right-handed batting Charlie Hayes on deck, who is 1 for 1 with a walk.
See, when he overthrows, it's on his fastball because it was a fastball situation. He tried to get just a little bit too much on it. Ooh, 3-0. I like that.
Sure, with a right-handed hitter on deck, why not?
Charlie Hayes hit a seed the last time up, but, you know, I trust Eisenreich being able to get a strike to hit.
He almost got himself a hippity hop there, too. Ball foul down the first base line.
First off, you give the guy the okay, and then he shows you something by going ahead and swinging. So, confidence from the manager and by the hitter. You play on my team.
A little trouble getting together on the pitch here. 3-1. Foul off the mask of Manwaring into the Giants dugout. So now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hollins will be off on the pitch. Phillips and telling Portugal he's going to play off him.
But you'll see how difficult it is. 3-0 that Jim Eisenreich tried to probably do a little bit too much. You know, when you get a guy in a situation where he's hitting 3-0, you're going to get that fastball, your eyes light up.
This allows Phillips to take the hole away now at first. Change up, miss, ball 4, they're loaded. That's his pitch. And here comes Dick Cole, pitching coach, out to talk to Portugal. Nobody up in the Giants bullpen as of yet.
If that's his pitch, how come he didn't throw it 3-0, 3-1?
I don't know. He sure threw it 3-2.
Try to fool him. I mean, pitchers get to the point where, you know, instead of relying on your defense, you know, you try and trick the hitter.
Well, on Sunday, June 18th at 1:35, the Marlins are in town, and all men 15 and over receive a dark blue Phillies baseball cap. And that's compliments of Texaco, a great gift item for all men and a great day at the ballpark. So why don't you call 463-1000 right now and get your tickets ahead of time, or stop by any of the many local Ticketmaster locations. Sunday, June 18th, 1:35, Phillies and the Florida Marlins, and a baseball cap compliments of Texaco. Bases loaded, 2 out, 2-2 ball game in the 5th inning. Charlie Hayes, the batter, he has walked and singled.
See, I don't know if I would ever pitch around anyone to get to Charlie Hayes, because when he's hot, he hits anybody, you know, and if he's not, anybody can get him out.
Starts him with a strike. He has 6 lifetime hits off. Portugal. There is Sean Barton, a young left-hander they just brought up, starting to loosen. He's the only left-hander in the bullpen. And Portugal will now be throwing his 100th pitch of the ball game, and we are only in the 5th inning. Nubbed up the middle. Here comes Robbie Thompson, steps on the bag, and that'll do it here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Phillies strand 3 more. We're still tied at 2.
3 special silver season promotions and 3 big games coming up against the Marlins. Friday, June 16th at 7:35. Come early with your bags packed and you can win a Rosenbluth instant vacation. Saturday the 17th at 7:05. It's a Phillies card set for kids 14 and under, courtesy of Mellon PSFS. Sunday, June 18th at 1:35. A relaxed fit baseball cap with a classic logo for men 15 and over, courtesy of Texaco. Call 463-1000.
Next is Lady. Exceptional sheen. Oh, very good color. Prince. Hands. Oh, such stateliness, such majesty.
Larry! Larry!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
The best of show? More?
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices, but they aren't cars. They are 3 choices that make it easier for you to drive a new Dodge. Choose from generous cash incentives or exceptional interest rates or extremely low lease rates. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. Why would you choose to buy anyplace else?
What picks you up, then lets you down? Caffeine. In the case of caffeine, the letdown is always longer than the pickup. Gradually discontinue your use of caffeine and see if you have more energy.
Well, Friday night at 7:30, it's time to join host Larry Rosen and the rest of the Prism Sports team for the premiere of the May edition of Broad and Pattison, an Emmy award-winning look inside the Philadelphia sports scene. That's Friday night at 7:30 right here on Prism. And included in that program will be a special visit with Phil's third baseman Charlie Hayes, who's going to turn 30 years old later this week.
They got an Emmy for that show?
They got an Emmy.
How about that?
How about it, huh? Here's Charlie.
So you mean they know what they're doing after all?
Tell the way they guide us through this every night.
Yeah.
This maze. Tough part of the lineup coming up right now for Curt Schilling. Here's Robbie Thompson to lead it off. And Thompson takes it outside, ball 1. Thompson, Bonds, Williams, and Glenn Allen Hill would be the 4th hitter in the inning. Robbie Thompson has doubled to center and flied to center. 1 ball and 1 strike on Thompson, coming into the game at just 233, but the Giants happy to have him back and healthy. A lot of shoulder problems last year. Really fine players in the league. Robbie Thompson, 2-1.
They definitely could turn that double play in San Francisco. And when I was out there, all you had to do was hit.
Ground ball to Stocker on a couple of hops, throws him out, 1 away. Whoop. Excuse me. Throw was dropped by Dave Hollins. That's not real hot news right now for the Phillies with the next 2 guys coming up.
Well, here you see Stocker. You know, nice little throw, a little low, but Dave is right there. You know, he had the glove down. I guess jamming the glove there, he couldn't tell if he had the ball in it or not.
Yeah, so that's an error on Hollins. His first of the year over at that new position. And here's Bonds.
Not one of those talkative first basemen, is he?
No, especially after that.
Ooh.
Bonds to deep center field. Eisenreich going away back. It's off the top of the wall. Robbie Thompson's going to score. Bonds goes to second. He thought it was a home run. The throw bounces back into the infield, so Bonds doubles in the go-ahead run, and it's 3-2.
What allowed the Giants to get a run was the fact that Robbie Thompson, when that ball hit off the wall, he was around second base waiting to see if Eisenreich made the play or not, and then after that he was able to go home. Look at this. I mean, weight distributed just perfectly. Look at that balance in his swing.
Yeah, he went after that first ball and nailed it.
And it's right off the wall. Eisenreich comes up, chases it down and comes up throwing, hits the cutoff man, but gets by the cutoff man, but by that time it was Academic. Thompson was already around.
That's a home run at Candlestick. It's a lot shorter in center field in that ballpark than it is here, and Bonds nailed that thing.
Just depending on which way the wind is blowing.
Matt Williams, who has struck out twice tonight. So the Phillies have stranded 8 through 5 innings, and now the Giants are taking advantage of that, and they're ahead by a run. That's only their 3rd hit of the game. Williams to deep right field. This is trouble. It is in the bullpen for a 2-run home run for Matt Williams, his 11th of the year. Looked like he was trying to move the runner.
Well, the interesting thing about this is they had such success in getting Matt Williams out inside with that high, hard fastball. This time they wanted to try and maybe set him up for that by going away at first. And Schilling got the ball right over the plate, and he reaches out and just crushes that.
Yeah, well, the error started it, and then 2 bombs, one to center and then that one to right. Almost as if Matt Williams is going to take that ball to right field, and worst he'll do is move Barry Bonds over to third. You think as a 4-hole hitter you wouldn't think that way, but he's such a team player.
Yeah, I mean, Schilling had him so conscious of the ball inside that the pitch was a good pitch selection, but look at the location of it. I mean, he's got to be thinking inside. Dalton wants it away, and it's right over the plate. A slider that's right there. And you see he gets his arms extended.
Phew, is he strong.
And that's out. All he had to do was get that ball up. And you can see why the Phillies want to jam him, want to try and pitch him inside, because if he gets those arms extended, he can hit it out anywhere.
Same thing with Glenn Allen Hill. So Matt Williams now has 11 home runs and 31 runs batted to lead the league in both departments.
And so he's true to form. He's got 20-something, probably 22 or 23 strikeouts, and you may strike him out a couple times, but he's going to get his share of hits off of it.
And Schilling is a second batter in the 6th inning, and there's nobody up in the bullpen. Phillies need to start getting some innings out of their starters, and this is the guy they figured could give them the most innings. Swing and a miss by Glenn Allen Hill. He strikes out. Second time he has struck out tonight.
Well, I tell you, pitching is so difficult because of the mental part of the game. I mean, I'm sure just giving up that double that tied the game, Curt Schilling had to bounce back from that from a mental standpoint. And now, you got Dave Hollins makes an error, and boom, Bonds takes you off the center field wall. So constant adjustments out there.
Royce Clayton got that big double for 2 outs back in the 4th inning, knocked in 2 runs, tied it up at the time, and the Giants have since gone on now and scored 3 here in the 6th to lead it 5-2. 1 run, of course, will be unearned in the inning. Foul tip, strike called, strike 1 and 2. And Royce Clayton, what a play. Charlie Hayes, can he get him? No. Ball was bobbled. I don't know whether we'd have had him anyway, but it'll be a base hit.
He probably would have had him, but it was a tough chance for Dave Hollins over there. He one-hopped him. It's a good play all the way around. Look at this pitch away. He reaches out and hits it in the hole. Charlie, a good play. Comes up and fires it just a little bit too far out in front of Dave Hollins to make it a short hop. The short hops, if they're throwing and they bounce right in front of you, you can smother those pretty good. But when it bounces a little bit too far out in front, it's hard to make that play.
J.R. Phillips, the batter. There goes the runner. Dalton's throw is strong and out at second. Looked like he beat it, but he's called out at second by Ed Rapuano, caught stealing.
What you're going to see is that he does get there early, but he keeps his front foot up in the air instead of jamming it right into the bag. He keeps it up in the air, and you'll watch and see he's there in plenty of time, but watch his front foot up Oh, and he got it back down in time.
Yeah, he beat that. Yeah, I thought he beat it. Phillies will get the call on that one. Phillips gets way out in front and pops it up down the line. Here comes Morandini. And Varsho drops one.
One of those nights.
One of those nights. Phillies have had real good defense this year, and the crowd is booing.
And you know, Varsho called off Morandini at the last second. It starts off with Morandini calling off Hollins. You know, Hollins gets out of the way. Then Morandini had called for it. Now he gets out of the way because Varsho calls, and he's coming in and hits him right on the heel of the glove.
And kicks out. They score that an error? Because there's still only 2 up on the scoreboard out there.
Huh, what else would they call that?
I agree. That's what I was looking for. There's Kyle Abbott starting to throw.
Unless there's a new stat.
Oh, there it goes now. Now they have it up. So that's a 3rd error in the game. Charge that one to Varsho. And it gives J.R. Phillips life. And he strikes out. So that'll do it here in the 6th inning, but a big inning for the Giants. They pick up 3 runs. They do it with 2 hits. There were 2 errors. And whoa, no men left on base. And you see the score, and I got to do the scoreboard now. Montreal leads San Diego 5-1 in the 4th inning. Mike Lansing has a grand slam home run in that one. Cincinnati by a run over Houston there in the 4th. Florida is having a lot of problems, but they're beating the Pirates tonight 5-1. Los Angeles and New York, that was Hideo Nomo starting that one. 3-3 there in the 4th. Braves have been playing well. They're leading St. Louis 2-0 on the road. Oh, and the runs are being scored in Colorado again as usual. 4-3. And there's a 3-run home run by Marvin Freeman. And that one probably off the end of the bat. Now we'll go to the American League. Milwaukee, Cleveland. 5-3, or Minnesota and Cleveland. No, it's Milwaukee and Cleveland. Well, look at this. What's that say?
I don't know.
Minnesota and Cleveland. Minnesota and Detroit 4-1. Kansas City and Toronto. That's 5-2 in the 5th inning. Texas at Chicago.
This is one of those nights for you too, huh?
They're postponed on account of rain. Boston, Seattle, Baltimore, Oakland, and New York and California. And that is the scoreboard.
You know, I've been looking at that California.
Travel provided by U.S. Air. U.S. Air announces daily nonstop service from Philadelphia to Frankfurt, Germany, starting June 11th.
And back here at Veterans Stadium, Gary had something he'd like to offer the audience about that California team.
No, all I was saying was I've been looking at the box scores and wondering how Ricky Jordan was doing out there. And he has not had any playing time.
I think he, the last I heard about Ricky Jordan, Gene Diaz, Phillies publicity guy, is a good friend of Ricky, said that Ricky was injured and was not playing. And he was not on the Major League roster at that time.
Really?
Yeah. He had injured his shoulder, his right shoulder. Kevin Stocker, the batter, with Dave Gallagher in the on-deck circle to bat for Schilling. There's Gallagher. So Kurt Schilling's night is over.
All right, here's a bunt right here for a base hit.
All right.
Oh. Okay, scratch that.
Hits are even, but the Giants lead by 3, 5-2 here in the 6th inning. First at 3 with San Francisco. Stocker with a base hit to right field.
That's what I was telling you. Base hit.
A hard bunt. And here comes Gallagher as a pinch hitter. Gallagher batting for Schilling. That's Dave Burba, the right-hander, and Sean Barton, the left-hander, loosening in the bullpen for the Giants as Portugal is over 100 pitches. And Kurt Schilling's trying to figure out where did it all go wrong tonight. I was throwing the ball pretty good.
They probably Royce Clayton, one pitch. That's what got him started.
Ian Dalton talking it over. Dave Gallagher batting at .379, 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter. And he takes a strike from Mark Portugal. Gallagher 2 for 3 lifetime off Portugal. Portugal, as you look at Stockard leading off, has done a masterful job of stranding runners tonight. Gallagher chops one to third. Matt Williams will just go for the out at first. Got him, one away. And on the play, moving up to second, is Stocker, and Varsho will bat. Matt Williams, one of the many Gold Glovers around for the Giants.
I mean, I think we got a year. We have a chance this year to see just how important that third baseman can be for you. You know, spoiled by Mike Schmidt all those years, and then you don't have him. You know, you realize the benefits of having a good third baseman there, and we have that in Charlie Hayes this year.
Done a tremendous job. Varsho, line drive, base hit. Darren Lewis quickly to his right, cuts it off. He'll hold Varsho to a single as Stocker scores, and just like that, it's 5-3. Gary Varsho delivers, and you have to think they got to be thinking about taking Portugal out pretty soon.
Well, this is a good piece of hitting by Varsho. Change up away from him, hits that ball in the left center, just like you're supposed to.
Good job by Lewis to cut that off. And here comes Dusty Baker. He's going to make a double switch. Morandini coming up. Sean Barton, a left-hander in the pen. He has one left-hander to bring in. He's going to bring him in right now. Steve Scarsoni, the former Philly, will come in and play first base. And J.R. Phillips will leave. There's Scarsoni. So Scarsoni will bat 9th, and the new pitcher will bat 7th. Steve Scarsoni in the ballgame. Sean Barton on his way in from the bullpen. Phillies back to 2 down. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
Houston's made some big changes, but you'll still see their big stars like Bagwell, Biggio, and Drabek when the Astros play the Phillies Tuesday, June 13th, Wednesday, June 14th, and Thursday, June 15th, all at 7:35. Relive memories of the past. Then, watch the hitmen of the present try to put a hurt on Houston in this special silver season. What a season. What a show. Call 463-1000. That's 463-1000.
Things aren't always what they seem. Sometimes you get more than you expect. Introducing the incredible I-30. One look inside, and you'll be amazed at the spaciousness and attention to detail. In fact, the I-30 has a larger interior than a Rolls-Royce Silver Spur. When was the last time you got more than you expected from a $30,000 luxury car?
There's the score right there as the Giants lead at 5-3. A new pitcher on, a left-hander, Sean Barton, 6'1", 195-pounder from Los Angeles. As you look at Barry Bonds taking a break out in the Giants bullpen. There's Barton. And according to his personal information here, he makes his home in Reading, Pennsylvania. Does this left-hander. Barton made his first National League appearance. His first career appearance, that would be, against the Cardinals on Sunday, retiring the only 2 batters he faced. As Bonds returns to his post. Sean Barton was 2-0 with a 1.80 earned run average and 15 relief appearances with the Phoenix Firebirds. Pitched 25 innings, had 5 walks and 25 strikeouts, and that'll bring up Morandini, left. And Greg Jeffries due to bat next. The right-hander Dave Burba continuing to throw in the bullpen. Barton has a big high leg kick, and the ball goes to second. Nice play by Holton. He said he ran out of the baseline. It's a double play. That's a double play. They said that Gallagher ran out of the base, or Varsho ran out of the baselines, and it's a double play. So that'll do it in the inning. We'll see Gary tomorrow night, and we are through 6 now, and it's 5-3 Giants.
The Infiniti i30 is truly an extraordinary luxury car. It has a revolutionary micro-finished V6 that can out-accelerate many luxury V8s. It comes with patented rear multi-link beam suspension that allows for superb handling. And it does something all $30,000 luxury cars should do. Perform.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
Jim Herr doesn't use just any potatoes. But then Jim Herr doesn't make just any potato chip. Make hers. Yours.
You know, I'm a man that believes in the law. After your family, it's about the only thing you got to believe in. But there are plenty of men who don't care about the law. Men who will take part in all kinds of viciousness. Don't care who gets hurt. When you find yourself in a fight with such viciousness, hit first if you can. And when you do hit to kill.
Well, there's your line score and changes for the Phillies here in the top of the 7th inning. And they are. Dave Gallagher remains in the game. He'll play center field. Jim Eisenreich moves over to right. And the new pitcher behind Curt Schilling is right-hander Ricky Bottalico, one of the young pitchers who's doing a good job out of the bullpen. There you see the numbers on him. 2-0 with a 0.69 earned run average in 9 games, of course, all out of the bullpen. Phillies got 1 back, still trail it by 2, and here's Todd for play-by-play.
Thank you very much, Wheels. Ricky Bottalico has been outstanding thus far in the '95 season. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 spot in the lineup for the Giants, but now the number 9 spot is occupied by first baseman Steve Scarsoni. Here's Kurt Manwaring. He is grounded out and walked. And he swings through the first offering from Bottalico, 0-1. Boy, Dusty Baker has to be real pleased with the outing by Mark Portugal, who was doing it with mirrors. 7 hits, 5 walks in 5 1/3 innings, no strikeouts. And now Manwaring is drilled by a pitch as he's hit with the 0-1 offering, and he will go down to first base.
He tosses the ball back to Bottalico. Bottalico can get wild. He has hit several batters just coming into the ball game.
3rd hit batsman by Bottalico this year.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they're all the first batters he's faced too, coming into a ball game, and he just smokes Manwaring. He has no shot to get out of the way.
So stay loose if you're the first man to face Ricky. Here's Steve Scarsoni, former Philly, who has killed the Phillies since becoming a San Francisco Giant. Scarsoni had that incredible series in '93 in their bid for the NL West title, back when the Braves were in the NL West. He went 10 for 20 in a series against the Phils.
How about a .472 career average against the Phillies, with a homer and 9 runs batted in?
He came in as part of a double switch with another former Philly farmhand, pitcher Sean Barton. So Scarsoni now batting in the number 9 spot, his first at bat of the evening, and he carries a .500 batting average to the plate, fresh off a 5 for 5 on Sunday, his best performance ever as a big leaguer. Takes a called strike. It's 1-1. Wendell Kim flashing the signs at 3rd. Scarsoni 9 for 18 on the year, hitting that even .500 with a home run and a couple of RBIs. Just missed the inside corner. It's 2-1. Giants lead 5-3. We're in the 7th. The Phils have committed 3 errors tonight, including a costly one in the 6th, preceding Barry Bonds and Matt Williams, and that's a deadly combination. Held up, it's 3-1. Scarsoni was in the Phil's minor league system for a while. Started in 1986 in Bend and made the move all the way up, Clearwater, Reading, and then he took a step back in 90 back to Clearwater, but did play in Scranton in 91 and 92 and did play with the Phillies. 7 ball games, 13 at bats in 92. Count is full as he swings through that fastball. But was traded to the Baltimore Orioles from the Phillies for infielder Juan Bell in August of that 92 season.
There was a real fan favorite in this town, Juan Bell.
We saw Juan Bell with the Expos last year. 3-2 pitch is inside and low, and Batalico has hit a batter and now walked a batter.
Yeah, not a good time to do this stuff either, because the top of the order is coming around, and then you're going to look at Bonds and Matt Williams in a game where you're trying to keep it close.
Coming your way Sunday, May 28th. That's preceding Memorial Day. It's against the Padres. It's a switch. Big, colorful beach towels for all women 15 and over. The oversized towel features the Phillies silver anniversary logo and comes compliments of Medford Foods. So make your plans now by ordering tickets easily by phone, calling 463-1000, the easiest way to go. Or you can stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS. They are located at Broad and Chestnut Streets. One of those fanatic Franks during the 3 innings off.
What do you think? Got a little mustard on your shirt.
Did a little mustard job on the new shirt. The fanatic Franks were very tasty. I had a couple of them. First and second, nobody out. Lewis pops a bunt up. Dalton and Hollins converge. It's Hollins who takes control for the first out. Well, the way the Phils have struggled defensively tonight, you almost thought that was going to result in a drop.
Yeah, it looked like Dalton and Hollins might both peel off or collide and knock the ball loose. A poor bunt, obviously, by Darren Lewis. Dalton has a play, Hollins has a play, and Dalton just got out of the way in time. Even with all that equipment on, Darren Dalton does not want to get hit by Dave Hollins.
The beauty of when Kruk used to play over there is you knew you could probably get to that ball without worrying about John being next to you. But Hollins is coming like a locomotive from first.
Well, that's big play for the Phillies, obviously, because they don't move the runners into scoring position, and they keep the double play in order for Robbie Thompson, a guy who, if he hits it on the ground, does not run all that well.
1-0 count to Thompson. Thompson has doubled off the wall in center, flied to center, and reached on a costly error, and scored his last time up. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Norm Charlton is up in the bullpen. Or is that Abbott? There's a left-hander up out there. It's Kyle Abbott. And Barry Bonds is due to bat next. But left-handers don't bother Barry Bonds, that's for sure.
Breaking ball stays up high. It's 2-1. Batalico is 25 years old. Made his major league debut last year in Atlanta at the end of July. Was sent back down so he could finish off the season at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. In the dirt, gets away momentarily. It's now 3-1.
Oh, he's got himself in a bad spot now. He almost has to give in to Robbie Thompson here now with a fastball with Bonds sitting there. And Robbie Thompson can hit that fastball.
Pitch. He was on it, but fouls it back to the screen. The count's full.
Wow. It was a high fastball. It was probably out of the strike zone, but you could see the way Thompson jumped at it. He really wanted to swing at that. You wouldn't think they would run here now with Bonds on deck. They wouldn't want to strike out into a double play.
Not very good speed on the base paths. Man wearing at second. Scarsoni at first. Runners hold. 3-2 pitch is high and tight, almost hits him, and now the bases are loaded. And a daunting task having to face Barry Bonds with a man at every position, and the task will be up to Kyle Abbott to perform. So Ricky Metallico, wild, records just 1 out while he was in there. He hits a batter, walks Steve Scarsone, now walks Robbie Thompson to load the bases. Phil's already trailing 5-3, in danger of having this one slip away. So Metallico will leave, and the left-hander Kyle Abbott will come on. We're in the top of the 7th, 1 away. Bases are loaded. Barry Bonds against Kyle Abbott next.
I like practicing my kind of caring medicine with Keystone for the Blues. My patients get the quality care and personal attention they deserve. They learn to stay healthy with regular checkups, and there are no claim forms. All this and Keystone's wellness programs are covered under the plan. Plus, I can refer them to the finest area hospitals and specialists. I'm pleased to be affiliated with Keystone. They encourage the kind of medicine I believe in.
Ask your employer for Keystone. We're the caring HMO you can lean on.
I need new clothes. I can't wear those. And call a florist. I need my rose.
You need more choices.
We need them fast.
To calm the diva down.
She won't last.
We need them fast.
9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Photo night coming your way this Saturday, May the 27th. The Phillies and the Padres in a 7:05 game. Gates open till 5:05. You can come down on the field and take pictures up close to your favorite Phillies. So make sure you come early to get a good spot for taking your own photos. Call 215-463-1000 for tickets, or you can stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster locations. That's this Saturday, Phils and the Padres photo night here at the Vet. Tonight the Phillies trail 5-3. It was a 2-2 ball game until the Giants scored 3 in the 6th on an RBI double off the bat of Barry Bonds and a 2-run home run by Matt Williams. Here the bases are loaded. Phil's new pitcher is Kyle Abbott. Abbott is 1-0 on the year with a 3.52 ERA. He's appearing in his 5th game of the year. In 7 2/3 innings, he's allowed 7 hits, 4 walks, 3 runs earned. He has been effective against left-handers. He's retired all 4 left-handers he has faced this year. But there was a time when he faced Barry Bonds that he didn't retire.
Well, Bonds has 3 lifetime at-bats against Kyle Abbott. He has 1 hit, and it's a solo home run. And as we mentioned, Bonds doesn't usually give much to left-handed pitchers. This is obviously the ball game right now with the bases loaded, 1 out. Phillies with it down by 2 runs, and Bonds and Matt Williams on the way.
Abbott last appeared Friday night against the Mets. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 7th, and he starts them off with a fastball for a called strike. Only one player in the history of Veterans Stadium celebrating its 25-year anniversary has hit more home runs in this park among opposition players than Barry Bonds. That is Gary Carter. 0-1 pitch, hit hard to short. Stalker, Morandini wide throw. Great play by Mickey Morandini for the double play. Stalker gave him a bad throw at second, and Mickey made the turn to keep this a 5-3 ball game and get the dangerous Bonds to hit into an inning-ending double play.
Barry Bonds rips this ball. It's a dead double play ball, but Stalker, as Todd said, made a bad throw, and then Morandini made a tremendous play. Morandini saves the play.
Volvo doesn't own safety. Precision craftsmanship, Lexus schmexes. Jaguar doesn't have the lock on impressive styling. BMW, I think you see is coming. And luxury isn't reserved for Mercedes. Nissan Altima, luxury and performance like the few, priced for the many. For a limited time, lease an Altima GXE with no down payment. Just $249 a month for 36 months.
You work hard for your money. We work hard to help you keep more of it. You know, what you pay for a kilowatt hour of electricity from Pico Energy today is about the same as you paid 5 years ago. And you can rest assured that even though taxes or fuel costs may sometimes affect your bill, we're doing all we can to keep base rates right where they are until at least the year 2000. And that's a promise from all of us.
Hey, look, honey, it's, you know, one of those 3D illusion puzzles.
Oh, you know, I hate those things. I can never see the thing, you know, that thing hidden there.
Just keep staring at it.
I'm staring at it. I don't see anything. Wait a minute. Wow.
So, what do you say?
I see you and me on a romantic weekend.
Wow. You're not so bad at this after all.
To take advantage of this great rate, just call your travel agent or TWA at 1-800-221-2000. Transworld Airlines. We're up to something good.
Extra added bonus game. The Cubs, Thursday, June 1st at 1:05. Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. Highlights from the past, thrills from the present in this special silver season. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Bottom half of the 7th inning. Greg Jeffries to lead things off. Phillies trail 5-3 as left-hander Sean Barton delivers outside 1-0.
You think they'd get a right-hander up in the bullpen right now, because if Jeffries gets on, Hollins would be the tying run, and you would want him batting left-handed.
Outside and low, it's 2-0.
Yep, and there he is.
Mark Dewey loosening up.
Dewey just got up, and there's Hollins, because Dusty Baker does not want him to bat right-handed if he represents a tying run, you wouldn't think.
That's on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Sean Barton, appearing in just his 2nd game of the year, was called up from Phoenix to replace the injured Joe Rosselli. Giants have a few pitchers on the disabled list.
There have been a lot of guys that have played at Reading throughout the years that have wound up living there after their careers end. Marry Reading girls.
There's a ball ripped into center field. Jeffries with his 2nd hit of the night, leading things off here in the 7th, and the Phils will bring the tying run to the plate.
Now we'll watch for a pitching change. Here's a double play that ended the inning. Barry Bonds rips this ball off Kyle Abbott right at Stocker. It's a dead double play ball, but his throw pulls Morandini off the bag, and what a play by Morandini, as Bonds really was not running all that hard either down line. Morandini saved the day with that one.
Well, they're going to let Hollins bat right-handed here against Barton. Throw to first, almost gets Jeffries.
Barton, according to the Phillies scouting reports, they haven't seen him, but Hank King did see him once, is slow to home plate with that big leg kick, but that's a very tricky move he just had over there.
Slider inside, it's 1-0. Barton's been in professional baseball 12 years. Made his major league debut with Seattle in '92. This is his first appearance in the National League, and it's just his 2nd out of the bullpen. Could be 2. Clayton, Thompson, Scarsoni. So Hollins, who had walked 3 previous plate appearances, grounds into a double play, and quickly there's 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, Dusty Baker's thinking there probably was, well, he represents a tying run, but it's the 7th inning, and they got 2 left-handed hitters coming up. So I'm going to stay with Sean Barton, and he got the job done for him. Throws a double play ball.
I'll bring up Darren Dalton. Dalton is grounded out, popped up, and flied to center. 0 for 3 tonight. A lot of breaking balls. That was a slider on the outside corner, 0-1.
They still have one of the premier closers in baseball, and Rod Beck, even though he struggled a little bit this year. You don't like to go into a game with Beck and close it out on you.
Scarsoni makes the unassisted putout to retire the Phils here in the 7th. So after a leadoff hit, Barton settles in, a double play and a ground out as we head to the 8th. It's San Fran leading 5-3.
Your advertising is your voice in the marketplace. Advertise in the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages, and your voice reaches more customers. A bigger ad gives you a bigger voice. A color ad gives your voice more impact. But if you don't have an ad, it's like having no voice at all. 9 out of 10 use it, and are all ears. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
My customers can't wait to play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new instant game, Once in a Blue Moon.
Bum da bum da bum da bum blue moon. You saw us standing.
Sure, they can win the usual cash prizes, $1 million spin prizes too. But what makes this game so special are those $100,000 bonus prizes.
100,000 could be more.
Something like this only comes along once in a blue moon.
Play Once in a Blue Moon from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
We could use another bathroom, but I really had my heart set on a new kitchen. Until the furnace went. But instead of putting everything on hold, I got a Mellon PSFS line of credit. We'll be okay. I got the money I needed, even a little extra, for other important things.
Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By your local Dodge dealers. Come in today because we know how to help. By the Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. And by Pico Energy. We're focusing our energies on you. Pico Energy.
Top of the 8th inning, Giants lead it 5-3 on another perfect night for baseball here at the Vet. We head into the 8th as Toby Borland comes on as the Phil's 4th pitcher. Kyle Abbott did a great job while he was in there for the one batter, getting a bases-loaded double play off the ever-dangerous 3-time MVP Barry Bonds. Borland's pitched more innings out of the bullpen this year than any other Phillies reliever. No record, 3.12 ERA. This is his 12th game in 17 1/3 innings. He's allowed 22 hits and walked 10 while striking out 13. Borland will start out by facing Matt Williams, Glenn Allen Hill, and Royce Clayton here in the 8th. Williams against Curt Schilling struck out twice, 2 of Schilling's 7 strikeouts, but then in that 6th inning that has opened up the game and been the difference, Williams hit a 2-run home run the opposite way, his 11th of the year, and RBIs 30 and 31.
And Schilling had done such a great job of pitching him in and getting him out with high fastballs, and starting with a slider away, and Matt Williams just went out and hit it over that right field wall, showing how strong he is.
Williams with 11 home runs, the Phils as a team with 16. Ground ball to short. Phillies playing him in the hole. Stocker the long throw in time.
Giants are a team the Phillies have had trouble with. Between 1992 and 94, they're 25 and 11 against the Phillies, and since 87, 58 and 38, 20 over 500. So this is a ball club that the Phillies have not had a whole lot of luck with.
Last year the Giants won the season series 8-4. They won 5 out of 6 at Candlestick and split the series 3-3 here at the Vet. Glenn Allen Hill fouls one away. He has struck out twice and walked and scored a run. Curt Schilling, while he was in there, struck out 7 in 6 innings. Walked 3. Take a look at Jeff Reed, who may be coming on as a pinch hitter if Barton's spot comes up in this inning. Hill was bailing out. That pitch didn't miss by much. It's 1-1.
Giants carry 3 catchers, so they can use a Jeff Reed as a pinch hitter.
Tom Lampkin being the other catcher.
Right. So they can use Reed as a pinch hitter. They're not going to take man wearing out of many games anyway.
2-1 the count to Hill.
I think Glenn Hill and Allen Hill, as you look at Reed there, is real happy with Toby Borland's sidearm motion. He is giving a lot of ground. Yeah, that's a real pull-off swing right there.
First time Hill has ever faced Borland, and it's showing. 2-2 the count to the Giants right fielder. Cued off the end of the bat. It stays 2-2.
Borland is tough to stay in there, I would think, against for right-handed batters, but he really has Glenn Allen Hill fooled.
Last year, Borland had great numbers against right-handers, especially in the minor leagues. Check swing, snared by Dave Hollins at first. And Allen Hill gives him a little look as he lines one, but Hollins made a nice play.
Yeah, as you said, that was a check swing. It looked like a fastball that time. Finally got a fastball, and it fooled him. Check swing and hit it hard right at Hollins.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Royce Clayton, the batter. Clayton's 2 for 3 tonight. Had a big 2 RBI double with 2 away in the 4th to tie the game. Called strike, 0-1. Of Schilling's 3 walks tonight, 2 of them came around to score. Curt had only walked 5 batters coming into tonight's start.
Well, the big thing in that 3-run inning probably was the error that started it, and then Schilling's trying to get ahead of Bonds with a first ball fastball, and Bonds hits it off the top of the wall, and then Williams hits a 2-run home run. You know, the error opened up the inning. There's no doubt about it. Because the pitcher then pitches differently to the next hitter.
2 outs, nobody on, a 2-1 count to Clayton. Ground ball to Morandini. Strong 8th inning for Toby Borland. So the Phils still trail by 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th. 5-3 Giants.
One of the most potent lineups in recent history is making memories for the next 25 years in this special Phillies silver season. Come see the Dodgers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 29th, 30th, and 31st, all at 7:35. Then mark your calendar for an added bonus game, a Mellon PSFS Business Person Special against the Cubs, Thursday, June 1st at 1:05. Reserve your seats now. Call 463-1000.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices, but they aren't cars. They are 3 choices that make it easier for you to drive a new Dodge. Choose from generous cash incentives or exceptional interest rates or extremely low lease rates. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. Why would you choose to buy anyplace else?
Are you a student in this class?
No, I'm a bum. But bear in mind, I'm a Harvard bum. If a woman is willing to give you her love, it's the greatest gift in the world.
To love free, to feed the remainder of life with 1 hour of fullness and freedom, 1 brief hour of madness and joy.
Back at the vet, let's take a look at the Major League scoreboard brought to you by Budweiser. Mike Lansing a grand slam as Montreal ahead 5-1 in the 7th. Cincinnati doubling up Houston 8-4. Florida has now defeated Pittsburgh 5-1. Another strong outing by Chris Hammond. Los Angeles and New York, it's now 4-4 as the Dodgers have tied that game up. Atlanta behind the Dave Justice 2-run home run leads at 5-0. Chicago and Colorado tied at 5. Both starting pitchers with home runs in that game. Milwaukee trails Cleveland 5-3 in the 7th. Minnesota trails Detroit 6-4 in the 7th. Kansas City, Toronto tied at 5. And the rest of the scores are either rained out or later on the West Coast. Texas had Chicago postponed due to rain at the new Comiskey.
Glad you figured out it was Milwaukee, Cleveland, Minnesota, Detroit. Or whatever it is.
How about Colorado, Chicago? Kevin Foster homers against Marvin Freeman, and then Marvin Freeman comes back and hits a 3-run home run.
That tells you all you need to know about that place, the way it flies out of there when 2 pitchers hit homers.
2-0 pitch to Eisenreich is a called strike. Sean Barton beginning his 2nd full inning of work. He's already gone an inning and 2/3.
Well, there are 2 right-handers out in the bullpen, Todd, ready right now, Dewey and Beck. And a right-handed batter, Charlie Hayes, is on deck.
So you're saying this is Barton's last batter?
Well, it could be, especially if Eisenreich were to get on base. You would think it would be his last batter.
Phillies trail 5-3. Bottom half of the 8th inning. And Eisenreich brings the tying run to home plate as he draws his 2nd walk of the night. Eisenreich 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and a run scored, and that is the last batter Sean Barton will face. Well, Barton, in his 2nd National League appearance, goes an inning and 2/3. Gets a big double play to end the 6th, but then allows a leadoff walk here in the 8th. And Ron Beck, who we've really seen a lot just come on in the 9th, will not come on here. He's going to be set up by Mark Dewey. At least that's the plan of Dusty Baker. Mark Dewey, the former Pirate and New York Met, will come on. He's a right-hander facing Charlie Hayes, due up next. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Giants lead at 5-3.
Hey, look, honey, it's, you know, one of those 3D illusion puzzles.
Oh, you know, I hate those things. I can never see the thing. You know, that thing hidden there?
Just keep staring at it.
I'm staring at it. I don't see anything. Wait a minute. Wow.
So, what do you say?
I see you in me on a romantic weekend.
Wow. You're not so bad at this after all.
To take advantage of this great rate, just call your travel agent or TWA at 1-800-221-2000. Transworld Airlines. We're up to something good.
With more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a Ford Ranger or Chevy S10, you could say Dodge Dakota is the perfect size for a truck. And when you can get things like air, cast aluminum wheels, and more for as low as $11,286,
You could also say this Dakota 4-cylinder is the perfect size truck for your budget. Dodge Dakota. At America's Truck Stop, your friendly Dodge dealer.
Phillies baseball day camps for boys and girls ages 7 through 14 are coming your way in June, July, and August. There are 17 great locations, plus get a once-in-a-lifetime chance to enjoy a day of fun at the vet. The 4 different camp sessions are the weeks of June 26th, July 17th, July 24th, and August 7th. And for more information, call 610-446-3636. That's 610-446-3636. 30-year-old Mark Dewey, the new pitcher for the Giants. He is their 3rd pitcher of the evening. Returning to the Giants after spending the last 3 years with the Mets and the Pirates. And as you see on the year, he does not have a record, but a 2.93 ERA. And he can be tough on right-handers, Wheels.
Can he ever? 128 right-handed batters against him. Left-handed hitters, 389.
He faces a righty in Charlie Hayes, who fouls one wickedly into the crowd. 0-1.
Double play ball was Sean Barton's best friend. Got the out of the baseline double play to end the 6th inning, and then the 6-4-3 from Hollins in the 7th inning.
There you see Barton. He retired 5 batters, 4 of them on a pair of double play. This ball's ripped up the middle for a base hit, and the Phils have the tying runs aboard. Eisenreich to second. Hayes with his 2nd hit of the night.
Now, Jim Fregosi has one more left-handed move left, and that's Tony Longmire as we look at Charlie Hayes hitting this ball up the middle. I mention that because Gallagher is batting in the 9-hole right now. And then Varsho batting, or actually the pitcher is batting in the 1st spot.
Right.
So there's
you
some,
save Longmire maybe.
Yeah, there's some strategy. Dykstra will not pinch hit tonight. Fregosi said that before the game, unless there's some dire circumstance. I just can't picture he's going to use him. So that's what I mean. He has one left-handed move off the bench. So you would think Stocker will bunt the runners over, and then we'll see what happens. Try to bunt them over.
Giants are expecting it as Scarsoni and Williams are pinching it at the corners. But now Williams hangs back, and the pitch is on the outside corner, a called strike.
Yeah, they gave Dewey third base responsibility. Then the pitcher was quickly off the mound over there as Bower goes through the signs. And Matt Williams had retreated, hoping that Dewey would be able to field the ball and throw to third and get the lead man.
So we'll see if the Giants employ the same defense with Dewey covering the right side. The 0-1 pitch. They do. He bunts it towards first. Scarsoni has just the play to first, and he makes it nicely to Robbie Thompson. But Kevin Stocker gets the job done, moving the runners a base each. It's Hayes to second, Eisenreich to third.
And here comes Tony Longmire. Now this is the same play. Watch Dewey bust for the third base side, but Stocker puts a perfect bunt up the line. Scarsoni, the first baseman, has to field it. Throws it Thompson covering. That's an outstanding play by Stocker to keep it away from the pitcher.
Dave Gallagher will bat. Longmire is on deck to pinch hit for Borland. Second and third, the tying run at second base. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Gallagher has grounded out in his only at bat tonight. Low and away, 1-0. Gallagher and Dewey were teammates on the '92 New York Mets. Dewey pitched in the last 2 years with the Pirates. Made his major league debut against the Phils back in 1990 as a member of these same Giants. Inside to Gallagher, 2-0. Gallagher batting .367 on the year. 2-0 pitch, hit hard in the left for a base hit. Eisenreich scores, Hayes to third, he'll be held there, and it's now a 5-4 Giants lead on the RBI single by Dave Gallagher.
Nice job by Dave Gallagher getting ahead in the count, 2-0. Matt Williams is so quick that it looked like he was going to catch this ball. Gallagher hits this right. Watch Williams, his first move. Look how quick he is. And he almost got that. And that ball was hit right on the nose.
So Hayes and Matt Williams have a word at third. Those two can play the corner. Dave Gallagher on first. 1 out. Bottom half of the 8th. Phils within a run. Dusty Baker is crossing off the Phillies' last left-hander on the bench, and he's going to come out.
Well, Rod Beck is very good against left-handed hitters with that fork ball. And he is a strikeout pitcher, and we'll see if he's thinking about him here in the 8th inning.
Giants have turned 30 double plays on the year, second in the National League, and Baker is looking for a double play here to end the 8th. He's going to make a double switch with Mike Benjamin, and Benjamin can play about any position on the infield. Coming in out of the bullpen is Rod Beck. Beck blew a couple of saves over the weekend in St. Louis. He'll be a part of a double switch with Mike Benjamin at shortstop. So Beck will bat in Royce Clayton's spot, which is 6th in the lineup. And Benjamin will bat 7th, which will be first due up in the 9th. So a double switch, Beck on and Benjamin on. Phils have runners on the corners and one away. There's Mike Benjamin, who takes over at shortstop for Royce Clayton. The people, the places, and the events that make the Prism region come alive come into focus on a brand new Prism show, Happenings. It's a 30-minute look at people to know, things to do, and places to go, and it premieres this June exclusively on Prism, the channel that brings your world closer to you. Mark Dewey, while he was in there, allowed a single, a sacrifice, and a single, so he does not get the job done for Dusty Baker. And he leaves it up to Rod Beck, who last year was a perfect 28 for 28 in the save department. But so far this year, it's been a bit of a struggle. He does have 5 saves, but he also has 3 blown saves. You can see his numbers on the year. Beck, 13 2/3, 11 hits, 4 walks, 5 runs earned. He's 3-1. And he's saved 5 out of 8, and some of those wins have come when he's blown saves.
Well, Rod Beck used to be invincible, and he isn't anymore, but he's still a premier relief pitcher in this league, as Dusty Baker knows. And he gets his strikeouts and he gets double play balls, and that's why he's a good man to bring in right now to face Tony Longmire, Todd. And looking over the stats, Longmire has never faced Rod Beck. So it's one thing for you to tell him about that fork ball he's going to throw. It's another thing when you haven't seen it.
Longmire this year is a pinch hitter, 3 for 12, including that lone home run, his only major league home run of his career. Long has been outstanding here at Veterans Stadium, batting over 500 on the season. Giants play the infield back, hoping for 2. First and third, 1 out, tying run at third. Fouled back on the first pitch, 0-1.
Say they have their infield halfway, which, you know, is more that they're thinking double play if it's hit right at them, but if it's not a double play ball and they can come home and cut down the tying run, they're going to do it. You see where those middle infielders are. So they have an option here, but it also gives you more room to scoot a ball through.
Oh, 1 pitch is inside. It's 1-1.
Beck throws a lot of fork balls, especially to left-handed hitters.
Rod Beck had 2 shots at his career 100th save over the weekend and blew 2 save opportunities against the Cardinals. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look, that.
He's so nasty when you haven't seen him. I mean, he's nasty even for hitters who have seen him, but when you haven't, as I mentioned, Longmire's never hit off him. He's very difficult.
That one he looked like he left up a little bit, but Tony just got a piece. One ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good ball game tonight.
Way high and away. It's 2-2.
Threw him a fastball that time. Trying to get it probably in an area, hoping that he would chase it. Pop it up. Nope.
Hit in the air to shallow center field. Coming on Lewis. Still coming on. He gets there to make the catch. No chance for a tag. As Longmire either cracked the bat or hit it off the end or both for the second out.
Yeah, it was both. Charlie Hayes has no shot to try and score on this. It's just a shallow fly ball to center field. Lewis is coming in the whole way on it. Larry Ball was not happy when he saw where that was. He knew he was no way he was going to be able to score Charlie Hayes on that.
So now it's up to Mickey Morandini with 2 outs and runners on the corner.
Phillies have had a couple shots tonight with runners at third base in fly ball situations and not able to deliver.
Morandini has faced Beck before, and he's 1 for 8. Outside 1-0. Mickey 2 for 4 tonight, including a double. Hit well to center field. Outside 2-0. Beck peers in for the sign. He leaves that arm just dangling.
Well, this guy's a character. Look at that look. He looks like a relief pitcher. A late inning relief pitcher.
He said he had that mustache when he was a junior in high school. Imagine the fear he created back then. Called strike, 2-1. There's the tie ball game. At third and Charlie Hayes. Go ahead run at first. Dave Gallagher. Bottom of the 8th. Ground ball towards the middle. Thompson will play it to first in time. That'll do it for the Phils here in the 8th. So they score 1, but they leave 2 more. The Phils have now stranded 10 in the ball game. We head to the 9th, 5-4 Giants.
My dad was always there for me. This was my chance to be there for him. I knew we needed an extra room, but the money was tight. I couldn't have done it without a loan. And my Mellon PSFS banker came through for me. That's what family is all about. Life Improvement Loans. Call 1-800-MELON-2. 1-800-MELON-2.
Things aren't always what they seem. Sometimes you get more than you expect. Introducing the incredible I-30. One look inside, and you'll be amazed at the spaciousness and attention to detail. In fact, the I-30 has a larger interior than a Rolls-Royce Silver Spur. When was the last time you got more than you expected from a $30,000 luxury car?
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice. Maybe you should keep the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Well, the Phils are doubling the Giants in hits, but trailing in the ballgame 5-4. They have left 10 on base. The Giants have made the most of their opportunities, leaving only 4. Well, Gene Harris was going to be the Phillies pitcher here in the 9th, but he may have had a blister pop while he was warming up as Mark Anderson, the Phillies trainer, is out. And taking a look at Gene Harris, he's looking right around the thumb area. Maybe it's around the thumbnail. And Jim Fregosi is going to come out and take a look at Harris. Harris has been a workhorse. Like Heathcliff Slocum, they have both appeared in 14 of the Phils' first 23 games. This is appearance number 15 on the season for Harris. As you can see, he has been outstanding. 1-0 with a 0.64 ERA. In 14 innings, he has allowed 14 hits, 3 walks, or excuse me, 10 hits, 3 walks, and just 1 run on the season. Harris has never appeared in more than 59 games, and he did that once at San Diego in '93. In no other season has he approached the 50-game mark, and he is well on his way to at least 50 and probably in the range of 60, 70 games this year. He will face, for the Giants, the bottom third of the order, which now consists of Mike Benjamin, Kurt Manwaring, and Steve Scarsoni. Benjamin came on as part of a double switch in the bottom half of the 8th. Batting for the first time, Benjamin hitting .333, and he swings at the first pitch from Harris, 0-1. Looking ahead to the Phils in the bottom of the 9th, they have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. Jeffries, Hollins, and Dalton trailing by 1 run at this point. Low and away, it's 1-1. And Rod Beck has not quite been the invincible Beck that we knew in '94. 1-1 pitch is hit pretty well to left field. He sends Jeffries back, but he got under it, did Benjamin. And there's one away here in the ninth. Harris keeps looking down at that thumb. And that'll bring up Kurt Manwaring. Manwaring has grounded out, walked, and been hit by a pitch. 0 for 1 officially, batting .246, and he takes a pitch on the outside corner. 0-1 since Jerry Lane. Giants lead 5-4. 5 runs on 5 hits. Phillies have committed 3 errors tonight. Chopped towards the mound. Harris off the mound. A little bit of a low throw. Nice play by Hollins. 2 away. And Harris will go back to that piece of gauze or towel he has behind the mound that apparently is stopping the bleeding on his thumb.
Dave Hollins made a good play on that one because Harris kind of threw that ball across his body. Looked like a slider almost. I had to go down and dig it out of the dirt.
He's got a little piece of towel back there that contains a little bit of his blood for this showing.
Yeah, and they're allowing him to leave that there.
He's got 2 outs and nobody on, and Steve Scarsoni the batter. Breaking ball sent in the air to center field. Pretty well hit. Gallagher back towards the track, reaches up and makes a nice play. So the Giants go down 1-2-3. It'll be Jeffries, Hollins, and Dalton for the Phils, trailing by a run.
Consumers Digest Best Buy and even Better Buy? Well, right now, we're offering $1,000 cash back on every Dodge Caravan. Not just some, every one. Add in up to $1,100 in package value discounts, and you can take up to $2,100 off America's best-selling minivan. Or choose 4.9 financing instead. So hurry to the Dodge National Best Buy sale. Right now, current Chrysler Corporation minivan owners get an additional $500 cash back.
The power was out and I was thirsty. I felt a bottle with straight sides. Could have been a soft drink. Could have been cough syrup. Then I felt a curved bottle and I could already sense that distinctive taste in the back of my throat. Grabbing the shapely Coca-Cola Classic, I retrieved a box of animal crackers. And after taking that first satisfying sip from that Coca-Cola bottle, I shook a few animal crackers into my open mouth. Bummer. Baking soda.
Whether you're negotiating a deal,
Okay, if you're good, I'll read you a story. Come on, make it 2.
calling in an order,
Skip the strawberry. We want chocolate.
scheduling a meeting,
I'm at the Big Artichokes.
or just checking in with the boss,
Honey, is it okay if I stay another half hour?
the most important thing
Hello?
is that the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile, the heart of communication. Call 1-800-255-BELL.
The crowd is getting pumped up here for the bottom half of the 9th inning. Phils have had their share of opportunities, but trail at 5-4 heading to the bottom of the 9th. The only team Rod Beck did not face all of 1994 was the St. Louis Cardinals. Greg Jeffries did not face Beck all of last year, and according to our numbers, Wheels hasn't faced him much in his career.
Yeah, according to the numbers here, he's only faced him 1 time and he struck out against him.
2 for 4 tonight is Jeffries. Way inside, it's 1-1. Beck had set a major league record of 41 straight save opportunities. That was broken on May the 3rd of this year. And he gave up 4 runs and 5 hits in losing to the Dodgers. Then he went on another streak before blowing 2 saves over the weekend to St. Louis. 2-1 pitch is a called strike, and Jeffries doesn't agree. It's 2-2.
That's a big pitch in the count, too. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. He thought it was outside.
chop foul down the third base side. Jeffries tonight with a couple of singles and a stolen base. Outside, the count is full. Well, Beck is saved 48 2 years ago, 28 last year, looking for number 6 this season. 3-2 pitch, and he walks the leadoff batter, Greg Jeffries. His 48 saves back in '93, the second highest total ever by a National Leaguer. Randy Myers in the same season saved 53. Greg Jeffries representing the tie ball game on first. Nobody out. Dave Hollins the batter.
You certainly don't bunt with your cleanup man, I don't think, in this situation. So look for Hollins to swing the bat.
A little bit outside. It's 1-0. And Beck is going to have a word from Manwaring. Hollins 0 for 1 officially tonight, has walked 3 times and grounded into a double play.
No one has great numbers against Rod Beck, I wouldn't think, in the league. So when you look at the Phillies numbers, none of them are very good. The best is Charlie Hayes. Hollins is 1 for 5 and Dalton 0 for 7.
With 6 strikeouts.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Beck pretty much owns the Phillies catcher, team leader Darren Dalton on deck.
So the key is to get Charlie Hayes up in this inning somehow, huh?
Numbers don't always work out.
No. They're just fun to look at, that's all.
1-0 pitch, and that was close, but somehow was called a ball. It's 2-0. Hollins has already walked 3 times looking for the cycle and free passes. Throw to first, Jeffries back. Rod Beck in his career has saved more games against the Phillies than any other National League team, 11.
I knew it had been grim.
High ball 3-0. Hollins will be taking one, you would assume. He does. It's on the outside corner, 3-1.
I think that's a tension breaker for Beck more than anything. Jeffries, I don't think he's going anywhere, although you never know.
Hollins is very particular at the plate, so even on this 3-1 pitch, Beck knows he needs to throw a strike. He does. It's fouled away. The count is now full on Dave Hollins.
It's a time when you might run. Have to keep our eye on Hollins, or I mean on Jeffries at first base. Because Beck, the pitch that he throws for a strikeout pitch is normally that forkball, tough pitch for a catcher to throw on. So they might take a chance and run here. Plus try to stay out of a double play.
There goes Jeffries. The pitch is down low. Ball 4. Phils have first and second. Tying run at second. Winning run at first. Nobody out here in the ninth.
Yeah, Darren Dalton's had one of those nights where against Mark Portugal, he kept coming up with runners in scoring position and not able to do much, so he's got another shot. Here comes Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker has seen his closer blow 3 saves this year in 8 opportunities. He's not the Rod Beck of '94 we once knew. He has struggled early on, and Baker's just going to have a word, it looks like, with his gunslinging right-hander.
I tell you, Beck was a master of the 1-2-3 save. He used to make it look very easy. It's a tough business to keep excelling in the way that guy did.
Chris Hook is loosening up, and he was just a recipient of a phone call. Darren Dalton has 8 plate appearances against Rod Beck. He has flied out once, he has walked once, and he has struck out 6 times. Beck of previous years has owned Dalton, but this may not be the same Rod Beck in '95. First pitch, grounded to the hole, base hit. Being waved around third is Jeffries. He's going to score. We're tied at 5. Darren Dalton, RBI single. So much for those numbers, Wheels.
Yep. That's why they're fun to use. And the human torpedo, of course, wound up at third. Dave Hollins just blasted his way over to third base. I mean, he roared over there to the point where a hard ground ball right at Glen Allen Hill. He has no play at home, and he has no play at third.
Was it my imagination, or
Here's Jeffries got a great jump, scores. They're going to walk Eisenreich and load him up for Charlie Hayes, who has the best numbers against Beck.
Did Hill stay back on that ball, or was
he did not charge it well, and he laid back on it a little bit. I agree with you, because that ball was hit hard enough, and that's what Boa was looking for, Todd, was to see the reaction of the right fielder, to see if he was going to charge hard enough to make him stop the runner at third. Not even close to charging it well.
I almost expected there to at least be a throw, and then you look out, and Jeffries came across easily. So the intentional walk to Jim Eisenreich, as Rod Beck has now blown his 4th save of the year, a guy who blew 0 saves in 28 tries last year. He was 28 of 28.
And the manager just looks on. Now here's the hit by Dalton. He hooks the first pitch in the hole. Hit pretty hard. I mean, it's not a screamer, but watch Glen Allen Hill. See him lay back? Look where his back foot was. He did not charge that ball. That's what a third base coach takes his cue on, is how the outfielder charges the ball. He did not charge that aggressively.
Bases loaded, nobody out, tie game, bottom of the 9th. Charlie Hayes can be a hero. Breaking ball up high, 1-0. Hayes against Rod Beck is 3 for 5 in his career, including a double.
Everybody up, infield in, outfielders way in.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Charlie, you still try to lift that. I mean, the outfielders are in so far that if he hits any kind of a fly ball, the Phillies are going to win the game.
Barry Bonds is playing what would be a short field in softball. He is way in and left. All Hayes needs is a medium fly for a Phillies come-from-behind victory. 1-1 pitch, fouled away. It's 1-2. Kevin Stocker waits on deck. The only runner that matters is on third. He represents the ballgame, Dave Hollins. Dalton on second with a big RBI single. Jim Eisenreich on first. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th. He chased a high pitch for a strikeout. Hayes goes down. There's one away here in the 9th.
Yeah, goes after a high fastball here. Thinking splitter all the way. Gets a high fastball and chases it.
But the Phils still have 2 outs to play with here in the inning.
Charlie Hayes really upset with himself because he was such a key there. He's a fly ball hitter.
Now Kevin Stocker's chance to be a hero. Bases loaded with 1 out. Infield stays in. Outfield stays shallow. Checks his swing, called strike. Kevin Stocker has faced Rod Beck 4 times, and he's 2 for 4. One of those 2 hits, a home run. Lifts the ball into center field. This will be the ball game. Lewis makes the catch. The sacrifice fly. Game-winning RBI by Stocker. Hollins scores, and the Phillies score 2 in the 9th to win it 6-5. Quite a ball game here on a gorgeous Tuesday evening from the vet. Phillies win the first of 3 against the Giants.
That was a great game tonight. Phillies have had a lot of missed opportunities. Jeffries plays a huge part in this game tonight. And Dave Hollins with great base running, and Stocker hits a fly ball. Fun game tonight, Todd, and a big win for the Phillies to pull that one out against a guy like Beck.
They beat the invincible Beck. 6-5 the final. 2 runs in the bottom half of the 9th to win it. And we'll come back to talk about this one when we return right after this.
It's happening now, but only until May 27th.